Welcome back to Stupid Day. Replace dogs.
No, we're not. Don't lie to these people.
Okay, Logan, let's stop. You're the only one here lying.
I will grind.
It's gonna be some very,
Sounds like a
very
terrible
bad
bread.
bread.
Yeah.
Heard of Jack the Beanstalk?
I don't think. Okay.
Ow. Okay. All right. Woohoo! Go ahead and click the button, please.
The funny button?
Yeah, the funny button, please.
Okay. Just checking. In case there was a secret other button to press.
No.
Oh,
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Huh.
I like these numbers.
I don't.
I have some notes.
Well. Okie dokie. Well, despite the fact that you have a 50% chance, you did not roll a duty. Sad. Sad. That being said, you did roll an obligation.
Whoa.
Okay.
And honestly, I think this is quite fitting. All things considered.
Oh boy.
Is it me?
It is Evie. Everyone's strength threshold is reduced by 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Shit.
Other than Evie's, which is reduced by 4.
Can I be honest? Narratively fits so well.
Yeah. Sometimes the dice work out. If Iris's character, Sophia, not to be confused with Sophia, the player, were here, I'm sure it would be her obligation getting triggered, because it always is.
Yeah.
I think my virtual dice are just weighted in Iris's not favor.
Anti-favor.
Yeah. I don't know what the opposite of being in favor is. Weighted against her. Or weighted against, I guess, is probably the best.
Probably the best way to say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna resume our scene aboard the bridge of Grand Moff Crane's flagship, where we left it off. You've given a bit of a verbal debriefing to the boss. You know, the boss, TM. He is your boss.
True.
He is.
And you've even requested a back attack be installed aboard the Dragoon as a reward for being good little fascists.
Yay, cops! Yay!
Yippee!
You get a "Don't forget you're here forever" poster installed aboard your ship.
Oh my god.
After the briefing finishes, you all given your input. Crane's like, very well. Says you are, as far as I'm concerned, you are for the time being dismissed to recover before your next mission. Captain, Senior Lieutenant, please remain behind.
Sir?
He waits for the rest of you to leave.
Get a fucking
Go!
Leave.
Come on.
Mark's just gonna nod and leave.
Mark stays.
None of my business.
Mark missed the social cue entirely. He's like
I'm supposed to be here, right?
That's not a social cue. That's just a
That is a direct order that he just missed.
Your Honor, in my defense, I was zoning out.
Your Honor, in my defense, I'm not listening to all that.
Alright, the rest of you filter on out.
I love
Um,
filtering.
So, do you think anyone on your team performed exceptionally well?
Oh. Hmm.
Mark! Chanting through the door.
Yeah, just staring.
I mean,
You don't want to stand outside the door. That's where Crane's Dark Troopers are standing.
Yeah, no, they would kill me.
honestly, it's phenomenal. It was uh, and, uh,
Moira.
where's the cabinet? I hear Mark and
The other one.
more. Mark and Moira were fantastic. Fighter pilots really got us through some of those jams, and Morsa always dependable. Bit upset with that flamethrower, but always dependable.
I would generally agree with the assessment. I will say the medical expertise Flight Lieutenant Dayan had was quite useful for our field operations.
Okay, like, I see that I have assumed that you would understand what I'm talking. Allow me to rephrase. Do you believe any singular individual on your team has earned a bonus?
Oh, well. I would typically give it to you.
Obviously, I'm not going to discount the captain's assessment. I would, in not nominating myself, fuck. This is what happens when I try to look at two tabs at once. Hold on.
Evie just says "off fuck" out loud.
Nominate Lieutenant Zyrex, myself, sir.
Let's see. Well, there's no other way about it then. If there's two nominees, we'll simply have to split the bonus.
I have objections.
Very good. Well, for the time being, they require some time in dry dock here with my fleet to repair your vessel and install the backpacks. I recommend you take some time to rest and recuperate before you set off for Narada.
I'll need it.
That is my understanding. Says Captain, you are dismissed. First Lieutenant, remain behind.
Yes, sir.
All right. Eliza steps out.
Yeah.
Crane gives it a couple moments to before he charges towards Evie. Says performance evaluations.
There were overall the performance, the actual results ended rather well. There were some issues with chain of command at times, but nothing worth a further investigation. I think it's a matter of growing a bit used to being in the field. Everyone, there were luckily no one seemed to have any sentiments that would jeopardize the mission, but I will be keeping an eye the more that we attempt to infiltrate rebel cells. As you know, their sentiments can be contagious, and I will do my best to excise them at the source.
That's very good. It says some chain of command issues can be tolerated. You are special forces. You are generally given the agency to operate as you best see fit.
That was my assessment as well, sir. I'm glad that you agree.
Continue to keep an eye. You may consider yourself dismissed as well.
Understood. Thank you, sir. And she gives a proper bow and leaves.
All right. Ugh. Do you guys want to meet up for anything, or do you just want to take the little bit of downtime you have?
Lysander likely be heading to the medical place.
I mean, there's a medical bay aboard Crane's flagship, yeah.
Yeah, Lysander would probably go straight from Crane.
Sure, yeah.
Meet up afterwards.
What do you need in the medical bay?
I have some medical needs. I have 2 critical injuries.
You want one of your critical injuries treated?
Yes.
This bitch wants to get treated.
Did you? Okay. You need to remind me. Actually, I'll just ask Logan because Logan will know this better. Logan, did you fail to treat any critical injuries on Lysander?
I don't
I don't think so.
believe so.
All right, because I need to know if you attempted to or failed to, then he can't for a week.
I believe there were no fails last time I did medical rounds.
No, it doesn't. I don't think so. I need to ask because again, if you've attempted and failed, then he can't get it treated.
Right. Needs to wait a week.
Yes.
Yeah, scrolling through, it doesn't look like any failures with medicine happened. So,
Very good. All right, Matt. So you would like to get one of your injuries treated? Which one?
Both of them.
You can only you can only choose one.
Then I would like to be cured of compromised.
Okay. In so doing, like you have to choose which injury you want tended to, and by doing so, you also can't get your wounds tended to in the same go.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you choose what you want your treatment for.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that treatment will cost you a fee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Your wounds get better when you sleep.
You recover 1 wound every rest.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know.
You'll at least get some back.
Yeah, you always heal 1 wound when sleeping, or when you take like what's called a natural rest, which is essentially just sleeping. When you take proper rest, and you heal all your strength. If you want to heal wounds, back the tanks is generally speaking.
Yeah.
What you are
Your
looking
best
at.
option. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll deal with my critical injuries for now. Compromised. It's 2 times severity.
Yes, go ahead, and that's going to run you 400 credits.
Or 8.
And I will make the medicine check from Crane's medical crew.
600. There we go.
Which you're gonna see is a great thing that you are getting your treatment here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why he wanted to do it while we're on the fancy flagship.
Yes, you have critical injuries is treated.
Yeah. Now I'm just off balance.
Oh yeah, you have the injury, but the effect doesn't linger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the same with compromise. I don't think the effect of that lingers. Typically, the low severity effect critical injuries don't linger past
It could
an
be a
encounter.
little more clear with its language. Maybe. But not a big deal.
All right. Well, the medical personnel aboard the Oblivion are happy to treat you.
I'm happy to be treated. After being cured, I will head in the direction of just around the place to see where my crew is, what they're up to.
What is everyone up to after being dismissed?
Mark is probably getting wounds treated at the medical bay, so Lysander probably saw him there.
You're hanging.
Okay. You want a wound treat? You want to treat wounds?
Yep.
where are you at on your threshold?
Above half.
You're above half. Okay.
It's difficulty 2, I want to say.
Difficulty 2. That is correct. If you're above half but not at threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just make sure I got all of this right. I do. It is going to run you about 150 credits.
Okay, I can pay that.
Yep. You are treated for 5 wounds.
It's at 150 credits.
Yes, please.
Okay.
For a treatment of successes plus 2.
Alrighty.
Which, that helps.
Yeah, no, that helps a lot.
They'll also slap you with a stim pack. Pro bono.
Oh, so that's another
Another 5. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it
Pretty
consumes
nice.
a usage. It gives you a usage for the day, but you're gonna rest before you set out, so it doesn't super matter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lysander and Mark definitely met up in the medical bay. Then, what about the rest of you?
I want Lemorsa to follow Lysander, like in formation, you know.
Like, going into
Inspecting the
medical
vessel
bay.
together.
I mean, you can do that. You are obviously dismissed. You don't have to be in formation of any kind right now. You are
I know,
more or less as safe as you can be.
I know.
It's probably safer here than it is on Coruscant, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because on Coruscant there's like just random fucks who live there. Here it's all military.
Yeah. Hey, dude, there's a few civilians. There's some civilians here.
Yeah, but it's like government employees.
Yeah. All right, so Lemorse is just following around the Lysander.
Yep.
What about Moira and Edie?
I'd assume there's like an armory
Sure.
or like a place where I could get my ascension pistol fixed.
Yeah, the quartermaster.
Yes, of course. That's what they're called. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, she would be down at the quartermaster, seeing if she could get it fixed or some sort of replacement.
Yeah, the quartermaster is can definitely get it tended to.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an issue.
Yes.
He's willing to fix it for half its price.
How much was it?
It is 275.
275.
So 137.
Okay, hang on. Okay. And yeah.
Yeah, well, and consider it fixed then. It's now operational again.
Sick.
Evie is gonna look into. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I was just gonna say, would the quartermaster also have like stim packs?
Yeah, the quartermaster can get you stim packs, sure.
And yeah, I'll buy 2 more stim packs.
Yep, 25 each.
Okay, so that's 1,200. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
Evie's just gonna look into getting the laminate armor for herself and Lysander customized, made
Yeah.
up to standard for a special forces.
Sure, yeah. Probably also the quartermaster, quite frankly.
Okay, so yeah, she'll bring the sets there, and is clearly struggling with it more than she should be. And just has it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it costs money. If it does, then I have to
No,
wait to get paid.
no. The quartermaster tells that it's that they'll get it customized.
All right, cool. So, special forces look all Centurion themed, all the good stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
her
you're
main.
you're changing the skin on your armor. Yeah,
I'm going into the weapon modification table in my settlement, and I'm clicking on the paint option and scrolling through, and they all look like ass.
exactly.
Rude.
That's a Fallout joke for you all.
I assumed. It sounded like one.
Not
Okay.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Can I buy myself stim packs too? Kind of for gore.
Yes.
I would like 4 stim packs.
Right. You can't have that many.
What?
you can't. You
What?
can't. It's fine.
4 stimmies, please.
My stimmies.
It's 25 apiece, so 4 is going to be 100.
Alright. I paid 100.
Nuh-uh.
What the fuck you mean? No?
Did you subtract the? Remember to subtract the credits on your character sheet.
Yeah, I noted down in my open office document first.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you make sure you'd make the changes on Foundry too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will send Logan at you like a rabid attack dog.
He'll do it too.
Yeah,
It's true.
he'll do anything for money.
It's also true.
Of course it is. You're a streamer.
Yes, I'm a modern day prostitute. What of it?
Okay.
So true.
No, I mean,
Although we do still have
There are some that treat it like that.
I don't think that's a completely unfair. I don't think that's a completely unfair comparison.
It's not a completely unfair comparison, but we do still have prostitutes. Like, that is a thing we still have.
Yeah, no, it's a prostitute.
So I just
Yeah, no, of course.
Excellent.
Is it?
Yes. Well, do you want to do anything? Do you want to have any scenes you want to play out or no?
I want to play out the scene of getting some stim packs.
I don't think you do. You
Okay.
can just get those.
All right. How much are they? I don't.
25.
25. Thank you. I'm gonna get just 5. Fuck it. All right.
ABS always be stimming. Me, an autistic person.
so true.
All right. Now that I'm loaded up on drugs.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't have any particular scenes in mind, so
That's fine. I'm just giving you the opportunity.
Would Evie and Moira be at the quartermaster at the same time, you think?
probably. I mean,
Yeah, probably roughly around the same time.
she just needs the time to go and get the armor sets from the ship. So
I would say so. If you want to say so, then say so.
if you want it to be so, then it be so.
Apparently, she does not want it to be so.
I'm so sorry. I completely spaced out for a second. I don't know why.
All good.
Moira would approach Evie and, would like to speak with you. I would like to speak with you, Mom.
Is of course. What's something the matter?
I just I wanted to apologize for almost killing the prisoner back on the planet.
Mora.
What?
Balmora.
Balmora. There we go.
I could tell you said the planet because you didn't remember the
I
name.
thought you were
completely-
just saying a name.
It completely left my mind.
So
I'm
just
only
Balmora?
focused on Nar Shaddaa right now. So.
I
It
understand.
came through as you just saying Mora, so it was like you were just
Yeah.
addressing her.
No. No, I said Balmora.
Well, under the circumstances, your negotiations were understandable, but we had a particular mission to accomplish. Hence why I waited until when I did to stop you.
Understand, Mom.
I
And
hope
then
that
just
you.
gonna leave.
Oh. Okay.
Just gonna
Yeah,
walk
but-
away. Leave it at that.
All right.
No, what were you gonna say? I meant that as a joke. I
Um,
apologize.
There is place for negotiations, but you must remember what our goals are and when those negotiations are not to be taken face value.
Moira is just gonna nod and head back to the ship. The Dragoon. There we go. God, I cannot think of any names today.
It happens.
All right.
Very good. There's nothing else, and we shall move on.
Okay.
You spend a few days docked up with Crane's fleet. Fixing a ship is not a quick job. Neither is repairing your other vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a little bit of time to tend to. You can go ahead and hit that arrest button a couple of times if you want to.
2 times?
4 times.
4 times. Okay.
Fucking rest button.
Under stim packs, you'll see a recycle button. Click that, and it'll
Ah.
pop up a thing that gives you a rest button.
Been listening to too much Tom Cardy because my immediate instinct was to ask Matt to check up his butthole.
Whoa!
It's a good song.
It's a really good song.
What's up?
I promise.
Hold
I
on,
promise-
Doggies.
I'll post it for later.
Okay.
I'll
Or
put
I'm
it
sure
up.
you know it. I think you've sent it to me once.
Yeah,
It's catchy.
it's really catchy. It's really good. It's been playing in my head for a while.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah,
I
Tom
love this
Cardy.
guy.
We
Yeah.
love Tom Cardy. He's great. He's very talented musician.
Very.
Yeah.
And you know he is because he likes King Gizzard.
That means nothing to me, but all right.
Yeah, no.
It also means nothing to me.
It's just me being me. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, Tennessee. You had
She's
a
getting-
clear statement.
She was very upset that I started talking about King Gizzard again.
Me too.
She's also just missed me. I just kind of up and left yesterday when I was taking some
I
stuff
understand.
home. I didn't take her.
Okay. Well, after resting for 4 days, once your repairs are done, you are, as far as you're aware, ready to set out. You might want to let the boss know that you're leaving, but otherwise, if you have no more pressing business with the 11th Fleet, then you should be good to set out.
Okay.
We'll let them know, and we'll set out.
you forward a message. You have Central send a message up to the bridge, and you get a confirmation that you are good to go. Your objective as of right now is to head to Nar Shaddaa and then come back to the fleet for a briefing.
All right. How long will it take
All
to
right.
travel there?
To Nar Shaddaa from here?
Yeah.
A couple of hours in
Okay.
hyperspace.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, if you want to have any team meetings before you get there, you have a chance. If not, we'll just go straight there.
I don't know if there's much to discuss before we have the briefing. So.
Well, in that case, a couple hours later, you arrive in the system, and you can see Nar Shaddaa as well as its buddy, the planet Hutta. Nar Shaddaa, of course, is a moon. That's the important thing to know about. That's an important thing to note. It's not actually the main planet.
Right.
Even from orbit, you can see a lot of lines and vivid lights completely covering the surface of the moon. Hutta, much like is a completely planet-wide city, much like Coruscant. I was just retrieving a picture for you. This is a picture of Coruscant.
Is that Nar Shaddaa?
That's Nar Shaddaa. Yeah, not Coruscant, sorry.
Yeah.
The space around the planet is heavily trafficked. There's a lot of ships coming and going. Nar Shaddaa, as ever, remains a very popular destination in the galaxy. You all probably know some about Nar Shaddaa, even if you haven't been there yourselves. You know that it's essentially the center of the Hutt cartel. Not
They love
again.
it
Not officially. There is no Hutt cartel, but everyone knows there's a Hutt cartel.
Presumably, we will be meeting with some Hutts.
If you're unlucky, yeah.
If things do not go 100% according to plan, then probably.
Generally speaking, it is in your interest to avoid the Hutts.
Yeah. But we should be prepared.
It's you are most definitely going to encounter criminals.
Yeah.
This place is, in fact, more or less every person on Nar Shaddaa is a criminal of some kind. It's generally what's acceptably known.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the planet from orbit at the very least, even if you haven't started making planetfall yet.
It's a big city. Mark just says that to no one in particular.
Yeah. Big city.
Many uncomfortable people.
That's how they like it there.
Should we be operating in our gear, or should we go undercover? Granted, the Empire does not seem too welcome on his moon.
We'll go full gear. Well, I suppose we'll receive our briefing first, and then we can make a choice. But the
As far as you know, there's no reason, unless you want to go undercover, you could just... The Empire... There's, the Empire and the Hutt cartel kind of give each other space.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's important we show a strong presence wherever we go. People need to feel safe and protected.
Can't argue with that, sir.
You're gonna go get briefed.
Yes.
Evie, you all will note at various points throughout this, Evie looks unhappy. Like, he's trying to hide it. She's not happy with, well, with what exactly? Maybe you don't know. But, she seems to not be looking forward to whatever's gonna happen here. And she's not as good at hiding it as she normally is at hiding things she feels. That is all.
Life is good. Life is good. All right. You gather in the by the holo terminal and come for and come back to the fleet for your briefing. Takes a couple of moments, but you get a hollow of Crane after a little bit. It's like, Centurion, I take it you've arrived safely at Nar Shaddaa?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Well, in that case, let's not beat around the bush, as it were. Because our intelligence suggests that the cell of insurgents led by the Grey Fox is operating on Nar Shaddaa. We don't exactly know to what capacity yet, but we are confident that they're here and that they're working on something. While you're here, you shall head down planetside and meet with ISB field agent Shira, who is leading my operations planetside currently.
Cool.
Agent Shira is acting on Nar Shaddaa as a liaison with the Hut Cartel and will be able to give you more up-to-date information.
Good.
She's also been briefed on the mission, so she understands what's at stake. Any questions?
Anyone in my team have any questions?
No, sir.
No questions.
If we happen,
Oh, we have a question.
if we happen to encounter danger, are we authorized to use lethal force?
Of course. It's Nar Shaddaa. No, they certainly won't hold back.
Understood.
Still, you are here, and as the situation on Nar Shaddaa stands, it is in our best interest to try and maintain the public peace with the Hut Cartel. Do not upset the overlords of the planet too much if you can avoid it.
Understood, sir.
We do not want to make a mess for our diplomatic corps now, do we?
Of course
Course
not,
not.
sir.
But still, your specialist says you are trusted to do what is necessary. What matters most is not protecting the feelings of some hut. It is getting the mission done and finding the insurgent.
Of course. We will see that it is done without any drama.
That's what I like to hear, Captain. Make sure it remains so.
We'll do that.
And while I have you, following your success with the Balmore operation, I am authorizing you greater agency on the field. You may, if you believe it necessary, feel free to disregard the internal chain of command of your strike team. So, when appropriate, mind you.
Understood, sir.
Is there anything else?
I think we're sorted.
Excellent. I expect you to do just as good a job here as you did on Balmora. Crane out. Ends the current transmission there.
Alright.
Sorry, I had a small internet cutout. I just heard Crane saying, since we did such a good job on Balmora, and then my internet cut out for a few seconds.
Oh, he's buying you all lunch for 2 weeks.
Wait, for real?
We
No.
are allowed to disregard the internal chain of command when appropriate.
TLDR, you are free to make independent decisions because you're
Okay.
players and you have agency.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I do want to say, when Evie was stopping from killing the prisoner before, that was fully a I'm gonna let you do all the negotiating and get as much info as possible. I'm not gonna let you kill him though.
Mm.
That was a tactical choice.
Oh yeah. Also,
That was a good.
I forgot to mention, Moira and Evie, you both get an additional 1,000 credit as a bonus,
Yippee!
but only the two of you.
I should have gotten that fucking bonus.
Oh, actually, sorry, no, not Moira. It's
Yeah,
Lamorsa.
I was about to say it
My
wasn't me.
mistake. No, you're right. That was just my mistake. It's Lamorsa and Evie, not Moira
Yes.
and Evie.
More so?
Yeah,
What did I do?
you were recommended for a bonus.
Oh, I heard Lysander earlier. My bad.
I don't think Lysander was going to nominate himself.
No, that's why Evie didn't nominate herself. Because it's
Yeah, but I
not
thought Evie.
appropriate.
I'm sorry. I thought Evie said Lysander.
Nope.
Like I thought you like dapped each other up.
No. There were actually, like, knowing that I was supposed to give a recommendation, I realized very quickly that there were two rules that Evie would follow. Not gonna recommend the commander, not gonna recommend herself.
Yeah.
Coward.
We
In
recommend
other words,
each other,
Magic,
like,
a
listen,
glorious
boss.
victory!
Listen, boss, our team fucking sucks. We're carrying the shit.
Look, we didn't want to say it in front of the other guys, but like we're kind of the real deal here.
I am the best fucking doctor
No, you
on
are
this
great.
ship.
That's
You
true,
would
and
be
you do your
dead
job
without me. That is a
admirably.
fact.
That is a fact. But I had to
Fire-
choose
fire the
somebody,
doctor.
and not only did I have to choose somebody, I had to choose somebody on the spot.
That's true. Well, make
But
sure
yes,
you mind to who you might want to nominate next time if it comes up.
Yeah, I will be thinking about it. So you all better be on your best behavior.
Looking at you, Mark.
What?
Huh?
Well, alright. If there's nothing else, you've received your briefing. You can carry on if you want to have any party discussions about your approach, but otherwise you are expected to just head down.
Yeah. I got nothing.
Me neither. Get down.
Huh? Well, you make planetfall then. As soon as you start breaching the atmosphere of Narshada, the vibes become very noticeable very quickly. As you breach the atmosphere and come down, you see hundreds, if not thousands, of like massive skylights shooting out, like beaming up into the sky. Neon signs and massive billboards everywhere, covering the skyscape. With tall towers with lots of flashing lights and everything. The light pollution is so heavy that the sky is basically just orange.
This is cool and fun to experience.
Here you go. If you want some vibe pictures, this is what Nar Shaddaa looks like for you. Enjoy.
It's like Vegas, but worse.
Yes.
Oh.
Biggest but planet wide.
Yes.
And the atmosphere
And
looks
with
like
less
it's going to-
morals.
is going to
Hmm.
poison you.
Yeah, like Vegas.
Wow, I've never been to that. It does. No, I thought it was sunny.
I don't know if you've ever been in the desert, Matthew.
I just said I've never been.
Well, there are other deserts.
Not
yeah, I don't think
You
there is
know-
a desert in England.
That's true. You got me there.
No, Nar Shaddaa is very, very distinct looking as you come down. It is neon and bright lights as far as the eyes can see. Not to mention that there's quite heavy traffic in every sky lane around the city. Regardless, you make your way down to the spaceport and dock there. There you are.
All right, so where were we told to meet our contact?
You were given directions to where to go.
We'll head in that direction, looking official and very formal as we walk through the streets in our Empire attire.
No, you
We're doing
were simply given directions down to a location called the Promenade. You get out of the Dragoon, and yeah, the planet's atmosphere is certainly breathable, but I would not call it pleasant.
Just because you can breathe it doesn't mean you want to be breathing it.
Yeah. You make your way out into the spaceport proper, which is crowded. You are basically immediately surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of people going to and fro their different shuttles and transport around the city. And of course, arrivals and departures from the planet. The smell of alcohol, piss, and death sticks lingers in the air heavily. Not to mention that that there's probably about 1,000 people milling about. There's also lots of people shouting and screaming, and there's music playing over the speakers, along with the occasional crackled announcement in Huttese. It is. I sure hope none of you have. Sure hope none of your characters have audio sensory issues, or sensory issues. End sentence, because this place is a walking one.
Yeah. This is a walking nightmare.
It's not pleasant.
Either way, you make it to a taxi and catch a ride to the Promenade. Which this is where you've been informed that you will be meeting with at particular location here in the Promenade, where you will be meeting with Agent Shira.
All right.
Let's start taking a look around. Both to like find where we're gonna meet her, but also just to check out the place.
The Promenade?
Yeah.
The Promenade gives you, as far as how clean a place on Nar Shaddaa can be, the Promenade gives you cleaner vibes. Which is saying something. This seems to be a slightly more official location planetside, though once you make your way into the promenade proper, which is like a very large building, almost like a bazaar kind of style building, lots of vendors all about. Despite the fact that it might be cleaner, there is like a 40-foot large gold statue of a hut here. So, you know. It's worth mentioning you haven't seen a single real plant since you arrived there. You've seen plenty of holographic plants, though.
A lot less work to maintain, I suppose.
Well, I'm gonna assume that you just carry on then.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we have any particular interest.
All right. Well, you make your way to where you're meant to meet. You come outside the facade into a building here in the promenade, flanked by two stormtroopers. It must be some kind of imperial compound here.
Not surprising.
As you approach, one of them kind of steps up, or holds his hand, and says, "I'm going to need to see some ID."
I present my ID.
You give your code cylinder. He scans it quickly. He hands it back to you. Says, "All right, head on in, Captain."
And head in. I bring the team with me.
Oh no, everyone's gonna have to scan.
We go one by one,
Yeah,
Yep.
and
you're made to
annoying.
scan individually.
Yeah.
I give him a very much holier than thou, this is not worth my time look, but don't say anything. But he gets it though, I'm sure.
I'm sure he does. He does this for a living. He gets it from everyone. Don't worry.
Yeah, but it's different when it's me. I'm joking. I get it.
No, you're so right. It's different. How could I forget?
Well, you see, in my case, I actually am better than him because. Sorry, please continue.
Well, you step on through once everyone's been able to scan into what definitely seems like the Imperial Command Center. Coming through, you step into a larger room with like a lot of there's like a large central holo terminal with like a planetary holo pulled up and lots of different blinking lights and bits on it, indicating and highlighting different positions and places on the planet. Maybe a dozen and a half Imperial officers and workers kind of mill about the place, passing data pads and chatting. It's presumably, as mentioned, some kind of Imperial command center here on the planet. At the very least, it's clean in here. There's no litter on the ground.
At
There's
least there are
no-
some semblances of civilization around here.
Let me go and grab a drink real quick. Feel free to chat in character in the meanwhile. Be right back.
Have any of you
Probably.
been to Nashada before?
Can't say I have, but clearly this is the cleanest room on the planet.
Neither have I, and I don't think I would ever like to return.
No, I'd imagine not. I can't say I'm a fan either.
I must say that this is quite the polar opposite of Balmora. And while the stories I've heard seem to be true, at least aesthetically speaking, I do have to say that being present on this moon is more pleasant. Or being present on this moon, my bad.
You've only seen the nicest parts so far. I imagine we'll be going to some not nice parts for this mission.
Are you more familiar with the moon? Have you been here before?
Well, not extensively, only very briefly. But I can't say I enjoyed any of the time.
Understandable.
Do you happen to have any important or any useful advice from your previous experiences here?
Don't engage with the locals if you don't have to. Don't interfere in hut business unless you know what you're doing. And leave the planet as quickly as possible. Or leave the moon quickly as possible.
What were to happen if we were to? What would happen if we were to engage with the locals?
Well,
Scammed, most likely.
like
I'm back.
mostly your credits would be removed from you. Perhaps other valuables. Just various other ways to trick you into giving up your life savings or your life itself. That's most of it, really.
They will in fact try to take your organs if you let them.
Do you reckon it would be safer if we stored our credits in a way where it would be less likely that they would be taken from us? Like accumulating all the credits on one person?
That might be more dangerous. It's a single point of failure.
That is true, but I do not believe that our captain could easily be tricked into giving up his money. Or getting the money stolen from him.
I think you overestimate me. I'm
Like I
more
said,
capable of that than any of you.
So the camera turns and Lysander's in the middle of like a cup game scam.
Yeah, exactly.
With all my credits.
Yeah. Right
He's-
on!
he's-
Right on!
Already gone
23.
all in.
23.
You put it all on 23.
Fortress of Solitude.
Isn't that right, Logan? Put it all on 23.
I thought it was. Is it 23 or 24?
It's 23.
Oh, okay.
You spend it all on gambling.
I spent it
We're
all
all
on
on
gambling.
Classic grump.
So true.
Yeah.
Classic
Yeah.
Aaron Hansen moment.
Anyway, okay, carry on.
It was the TLDR was Evie was asking if anyone else had been to Nar Shaddaa, and then she said, I've been here very briefly, hated it. Leave as soon as you can.
That's I think that's fair. As you're conversing, a couple moments pass. You know, you have the conversation, and if your officer kind of makes his way towards you, adjusts his uniform, and says, I take it your strike team Centurion.
Yes, that's us.
Indeed.
He gives you a polite nod. Excellent. We've been told to await your arrival. Says he gestures to the upper level of this kind of like 2-story room, and says the agent will see you up in her office.
Very well. Thank you very much. We make our way up.
Polite nod, and we head on up.
All right, come up. make your way towards the door. And are you ready to head in?
So there's like a cheeping
Yeah.
noise coming from your mic.
It's my air condition.
Oh, okay.
You're just gonna have to deal with it because I'm not sitting here in the seats.
I mean, as long as you know.
All right, we head on in. You guys see Evie visibly brace herself.
Lysander is as cool as a cucumber as he walks in. I suppose he'll knock first.
Well, I thought we were being let in. I don't think it's.
Oh, we're being let-
You were
necessary-
just being told to go up to go here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I
we
know.
we're being expected.
I knock, but not like knock and wait, just like knock and then walk in. Kind of a knock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a doctor's office.
Yep. Yeah, I've never knocked on my doctor's office in my life. Anyway,
You would fall victim to so many social faux pas in England.
well, I mean, here you sit in the waiting room, and then the doctor comes to get you, and then you go to the office together.
Oh, it's a little different.
So, like, you don't have to go and knock. You just because you are told when to arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you head on into the office. This office is much like the rest of this place, very much an intelligence center. Lots of different screens and consoles all around, kind of flanking all around the walls of this room. Though directly across from where you enter, there is a desk with a Pantoran woman sitting behind it, dressed in a clean imperial uniform. She looks up as you step in and says, "Ah, Captain." And then she looks over and says, "Evie."
Evie gives a very tight-lipped smile nod.
Yes. It's good to see you.
I'm sure.
Should we sit down? Other seats?
There are no chairs for you to sit down on.
That-
Sits on his ass on the floor.
Like he's being told a story from his grandparents.
He's gathering around for story time.
She looks over the group a little expectantly for a moment and says, "It's common form to introduce yourselves."
we are striking. I am.
7?
Yeah. What are we called?
Centurion.
Yeah.
Centurion.
I'm sorry, Matt. That is not a mistake you can make at this far into the campaign.
We are striking team Centurion. Captain Lysander Voss. Pleasure.
She looks at the others, though distinctly avoids looking at Evie.
I am Centurion 4, Mark.
I am Lieutenant Lemorsa Zeorex.
Sergeant Moira Dayan.
It's like, there you go. I mean, I knew that already. I read your files, but
Amusing.
isn't it?
All right. Let's try and keep things professional.
I don't know what you mean, Captain. I think we are being the image of professionalism right now.
Good. Let's carry on. So you have some details
Well-
for us.
First of all, welcome to Nar Shaddaa.
Thank you. It's lovely.
While you're here, I expect you to be on your best behavior. Yeah. Anything that you do could create immense difficulties for myself and the diplomatic corps.
I understand.
The Huts that run this planet are a notoriously mercurial people. And their favor ebb and wane.
is what I've heard.
As it stands right now, it is not in the Empire's interest to conquer this planet, so we try to maintain the current status quo. You are expected to do the same.
I understand. We have no interest in disrupting things here.
We'll see about that. Special forces tend to disrupt things wherever they go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll try not to. We're not like those other strike forces, don't you worry. Strike Force Centurion is the image of professionalism.
Hmm.
Well, let's get on with it then. Since the less time you spend on my planet, the better.
On that,
Alright.
we agree. Please share with us your intelligence.
We have a. Let me restart that sentence. Let me start from a position where I actually know where I'll be going with it.
Take your time.
Next. Your target here is quite simple and easy. You press a button and displays a hologram of a, you assume, human male. It looks human at least, or some kind of human subspecies. Slightly, you know, looks maybe 40, 45. With a mustache and a couple bits of cybernetics, including a very clearly cybernetic eye replacement. I was like, this is Lanzo Castia.
Alright, you see.
He is your mark on the planet, known insurgent, currently, however, under the protection of the Hutts.
What for?
Says we believe that he, well, allow me to rephrase that. He has some kind of deal with the cartel.
Mm.
Alright.
He's under the protection of Zemra the Hutt, who I suppose you could consider his patron for the time being.
I see.
But as long as he's under the protection of Zemra the Hutt, you can consider him untouchable on the planet. And he has no intention of leaving the planet.
Of
Smart.
course not.
Well, it unfortunately happens, it gets worse.
Oh.
Because we believe that Zemra the Hutt and Mr. Castia here are about to strike a major weapons deal with the remaining bodies of the Hutt cartel on the planet. And I'm sure I don't need to emphasize to you that this means the insurgency that you are currently hunting will have access to great munitions and arms.
Not encouraging.
Well, as it so happens, you have arrived at an opportune moment. Castia and Semra are currently engaged in a meeting with other heads of the Hutt cartel on the planet. You should head there and interrupt the proceedings.
Hopefully reducing their deals. If we can damage their proceedings, perhaps it will damage their trust. I take it.
Precisely. That is the thought. We need to do this. Unfortunately, we have very few options to stop this deal from going through that don't require things getting a little messy. Now, normally, I would not be one for barging in on a room with 16 different huts. However, if we allow this deal to go through, then there's unfortunately nothing to be done about it. The insurgency will have secured arms supply for a long time. And if you thought they were dangerous already with what they accomplished on Cordelia, imagine what they could do with access to hut-backed arms manufacturing.
Yeah.
The less support they have, the better. I think we can all agree.
Absolutely.
But of course, officially, the Hut Cartel would never back an insurgent.
Right.
Bad business, and they don't want to sour their relationship with the Empire. However, unofficially, they are free to do business with whatever private entrepreneur they wish. And it just so happens that this private entrepreneur is a Mr. Alonso Castillo, who just so happens to be an insurgent sympathizer.
Naturally.
For the time being, I do believe it is in our interests that you make your way to where Mr. Castia and Semra are meeting with the other members of the Hut Cartel and interrupt that proceeding. Disrupt the deal from being finalized.
Do we have any information on the structure of the proceeding? Anything that could give us an advantage going in?
He kind of puts her elbows on the table and says, well, as mentioned, Mr. Castia is, of course, a known anti-imperialist. He has multiple occasions expressed his anti-empire sentiments. Now, obviously, the Huts know exactly who they're doing business with. It's not like if you were to tell them they're dealing with a potential insurgent, they will be surprised. Still,
But if they know it will damage their relation with the Empire, that might...
it certainly might change your opinion. The Huts have as little interest in a war on Nar Shaddaa as we do. Says, of course, threats of war will only get you so far.
Of course.
But you are special forces, are you not? I suspect you're meant to have guile in these matters.
We do know how to perform with subtlety.
Okay.
Yeah, they put us on these kinds of tasks for a reason. Something we can't handle.
They put you on these tasks because supposedly you are the best the Empire has to offer. So make sure you behave like it, hmm?
Understood. We'll get this done.
The proceedings are happening at Jogger the Hutt's palace.
All right.
This Jogger the Hutt is arguably the best way to put it is that he is the big shot around Nar Shaddaa currently. The Hutt Cartel obviously doesn't have any one leader, but Jogger's voice, particularly on Nar Shaddaa, carries a great deal of weight, and he's trusted as a mediator in these matters.
Excellent. Makes sense to me.
So make sure when you show up, you don't offend your host,
Right.
and don't offend the rest of the cartel leaders.
Okay. That won't be an issue.
That being said, you should go in expecting a little bit of a debate. Mr. Castier is a showman at heart.
I see. That's good to know. Thank you.
Anything else?
Any other details about the huts that will be present that are relevant?
She kind of gives a bobs her head a little side. So says, none that particularly matter to you right now beyond Jogra and Semra. Other prominent huts will be available, but as long as you don't insult them or threaten them, I'm sure you'll be fine. Plead to their nature as business people.
They do tend to be rather selfish creatures.
You won't say that in front of them.
No, I reckon you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Says you're likely to insult some of them, though some of them might take it as a compliment.
We will figure that out, and I'm sure we will get the hang of them pretty quickly.
Well, strike team. She kind of gives a gesture towards her. Off you go. The clock is ticking.
All right.
We'll report back when appropriate. And Evie goes to leave.
Oh, there we go. Well,
Bye.
I'm back alive.
All right. I think, unless anyone else has something, I think we head out again.
I think so.
Right, you step out of Agent Shira's office.
Yeah.
Better start making our way there. Don't want to be
Yeah.
late.
We're gonna figure out where this palace is and go to it.
You start making your way down to the taxi terminals.
Yeah.
You get in your cab. You give him. You tell me that to take you to Jogra's palace. He knows where that is. He'll take you there.
It's a crammed ass taxi.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
you want to discuss your proceedings as you make your way there, or no?
I think that we should. I presume we'll need a multi-fronted approach. There are many factors at work with huts. There is,
Yes.
of course, simply showing our presence as Imperials, which will perhaps not be enough, but will get their attention.
Sure.
But in terms of sabotaging the proceedings, there are many approaches that can be taken.
They aren't likely to be intimidated by 5 Imperial soldiers, no matter their rank.
No, at least some of us must be visibly present to get the message across that the Empire is aware of these proceedings, but it won't be enough on its own.
Do you reckon it would be smart to show ourselves to begin with if we're unable to convince them in person? Because at that point we will have to resort to, as you mentioned, sabotaging the deal.
I presume we'll have to do that regardless, but we need to decide how would be appropriate to do so.
I reckon we either steal or destroy the weaponry. Weapons.
That's presuming they're doing a initial weapons deal here. The impression I got was that they were securing future armaments. Though, we could, if they have any here, we could sabotage what they have, cast doubt on the validity of the deal.
Do we have any tracking devices? It might be smart to plant some if they do have armaments here. Find where they're storing them.
We can requisition some.
Let's see, how much would that be? Because
What you're looking for is called a surveillance tagger.
Right.
Which, if there's anywhere you're going to get it, Narshada's a good place to do so.
yeah, you can get a lot of shit on Narshada.
That being said, you don't have one right now. You'd have to make a detour to get one. Which, of course, could have its own impact on the proceedings if you delay.
Yeah, if we can take time to get gear, but it would take time.
Yes. Even Tali knows that.
Might be smart for us to just go.
We can also attempt to find anyone present, whether it's just the mark or any other participants, and use them to track potential leads.
Could work.
Alright, so run us through one more time exactly what you think we should do from the top.
Who are you directing that at?
Evie.
Okay.
I believe that we should, one, make our presence known to the huts specifically, to show them that the Empire is aware of these dealings.
Sure.
Other than that, we should find way to sabotage the proceedings more subtly through either the merchandise, as it were, or whatever other manner we can find. I'm not sure what we will as of yet, due to the rapid nature of this encounter. Being able to prepare in advance would have been very helpful.
Yeah. I don't know why we've been briefed so late. That's so it goes. Let's make our presence known then.
Well, as you're conversing, the taxi docks at the palace, at Jogra's palace.
What's it look like?
Jogra's palace?
Yeah.
It is a large floating building with a great view of the Najada skyscape, as one might expect. It is vibrantly. Well, the building itself is the structure itself is durable. It is covered in all sorts of hollow and neon, with a couple of large domes. That being said, it's probably one of the more subtle-looking places here on Narshada, all things considered. Still, it is quite a. Its palace is certainly a term you can use for this place. You might not consider it the correct one, but it is a palace as far as Narshada is concerned.
All right. Remember, we're here to deal with these proceedings, not to anger Hut.
Of course.
Right. Need to be careful.
Yeah, everyone
Then-
on your best behavior. This
They
could
may not
go
be pleasant.
south real quickly.
They may not be pleasant to be around, but they are assets at times. So polite, if not nice. All right. Keep your comms close at hand.
Understood, ma'am.
Are you gonna start making your way in?
In we go.
You start heading on in. You almost immediately, as you make your way through the front entrance, you see several of Jogger's guards positioned around. Look like they're like, we should stop those, right? But they are not paid enough to mess with Imperial commandos.
Teehee.
So they just let you go on through. Though it takes a little bit as you push on through before you are finally stopped by a well-dressed basilisk who makes his way. So like, excuse me, hi, sorry, terribly, 1,000 pardons, 1,000 pardons. You can't be here right now. Yeah, you can't. You need to leave.
We came to have an audience with the Hut. Is this not the right place to be?
The venerable Jogra the Hutt thanks you for your interest in his time, but I'm afraid as of currently he is occupied.
Did he say that himself?
Says the venerable, mighty Jogra the Hutt is in fact occupied at the current time.
Oh, what is he occupied with?
He is in another pressing meeting.
Oh, for how long?
Could be a couple of hours.
I'm sure you have somewhere for us to wait.
I'm sure that it won't take too long and that he could make time.
This basilisk looks like he wants to deal with anything but this right now.
Yep, I don't blame him, unfortunately.
He knits
We are
both
here.
pairs of his hands together and says, I'm, again, 1,000 pardons, but I'm going to have to insist that you vacate the premises.
Entirely?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we're on official business from a Grand Moff. I'm sure if you explain to the boss that it's important we be here, I'm sure you could at least see if he wants us to leave.
Go ahead and make me a coercion.
Very well.
Yeah. I wanted to say that Evie's gonna add. I'm sure that your boss, the Venerable Hut, would not be happy to hear that you turned away Imperial officers here on official business because you thought he didn't have the time to address it. We would, of course, have to report back.
Go ahead and add a boost die mat to your roll.
Wahoo! What difficulty? What's the base difficulty?
Difficult. I want the difficulty here to be normal, so 2, please.
All right. I'll go tap a light side point.
Go ahead. That upgrades your ability once.
Woohoo!
All right. Your subtle intimidation of this basilisk major domo does not go unnoticed. He is picking up what you're putting down. He's like, I suppose I could inform His esteemed excellence that you are here, but as I said, he is on pressing business, and he will not be able to see you until he is done.
Well, as I say, I'm sure there's somewhere here you could have us wait.
Right this way, sir.
Very good, thank you.
Please come with me. He will uneasily guide you out of this like main vestibule hallway into like a side room. Like here, I suppose you can wait in here. I will inform his excellence that you are here.
Very good, thank you. We will get comfortable. Wait.
The Major Domo leaves.
Is there any sort of computer in this room? Anything at all?
Terminal. Give me a perception check.
Sadly,
Alright.
all there
Please.
is an Asus EPC from 2007.
So perception, what difficulty?
3, please.
3, yeah.
Matt and said Matt. No, it's not that. There's just a Google Stadia sitting here. This is the Stadia room.
Oh,
Couldn't imagine if it was.
alright.
Tell you what, you managed to notice a discreetly hidden console.
Keep an eye out and warn me if someone is coming for the door. And I
What do you
go.
look at?
Yes, sir.
I start trying to access the terminal.
Alright, what are you looking for with this terminal? What are you trying to accomplish here?
I'm looking for either there's two things. Either some sort of like layout, cameras, internal something, like way to know our way about the place. Oh no. Either looking for a way about the place or something like cameras so that I could see if I can find where exactly they're doing the deal and what is happening.
Okay,
So-
go ahead and give me a computer's difficulty 3 check, please.
All right. Computer. And this is when I go and I open up all my skills to remember what I can do because there's
You
so
have
many
computer
things.
skills.
Yeah, so this isn't disabling a security device. That'll come later. No. Not defending. I'm gonna take 2 strain and reduce the difficulty to 2.
All right, I suppose you're allowed to do that.
Yes. And no, I don't think there's anything else applicable here. just that I do it fast. Damn.
You start trying to slice into the system. Unfortunately for you, Hut. It seems that Hut, terminal security is better than you might have anticipated. You are unable to find neither a internal layout or any camera access. That being said, you can without a doubt confirm with what little data you're able to find that the meeting that you've been told is happening is very much happening here.
Now. All right, well, I'm gonna take those strain back with my advantages.
Fair enough.
And I got nothing else to do with it, so I just had to double check because I forget what the symbols are.
Yep, all good.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I can find from here. We might have to split off if we want to find anything here while the meeting is still happening.
It might cause trouble if we skulk around too much.
That's true. I don't think all of us can go.
I think sending one person to look around would be less suspicious. And less things to go wrong.
I'm inclined to agree.
Very good.
I should say, from a tactical standpoint, I agree. I understand where you're coming from, but from the standpoint that this is a tabletop role-playing game, and you are sending one person off on their own to do something while everyone else is sitting around twiddling their thumb, might not be the most fun or engaging.
What if one person goes and we're all in a group voice chat with them in the comlink?
That sounds like it would still kind of suck, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps it might be better to have at least one of us stay while the rest of us go in different directions so we're not caught as a group. This is, of course, a matter of urgency.
Your goal here is very much for you all to make your way to the proceedings so that you can be there.
Yeah.
Alright, if you want us to do it, then
No, that is it.
It's mostly a concern if anyone's going to get bored if their character isn't the one doing this or anything.
It's mostly just, I'm going to be very honest with you. I feel like I'm pulling a lot of weight this session, which I'm fine with doing, but I need something from the rest of you to engage with. And I feel like I'm not being given a lot, and if just one person goes off, I'm still not going to have a lot to work with. I'm having a little bit of a hard time pushing this session along.
alright, well then we can all investigate in this time.
I do stand by that splitting off in different directions might be good so that we're not seen as as what we are, a strike force going in here.
Alright, let's
But
do two groups. Team Lysander, Team Evie.
all right.
I'll take blue guy, you take the others.
Works for me.
I mean, at least you know who is going where then, I guess.
Yeah.
So when we were brought over to this room, how far was it from where we came in? Like from where they were seeing?
Not that far. You entered like through the main, entryway. You start heading to like the main hallway, like the the main like
my
vestibule
main
atrium.
question was, are we going to be in line of sight of someone when we pop out the door of this room?
Not immediately, but you know there are some covers you could move along with.
My second question is, before we go out, it's Star Wars. We gotta check. Are there any air vents?
Yeah, there's an air vent. Sure.
Is it big enough for a person?
Sure.
Okay. Well, there's always that option. If someone wants to see if they can get there on the different route, and I gesture to the vent.
Who's
Last
the
thing to consider.
stalwart here?
I would say I am.
Yeah, I believe canonically that's Moira.
I have fit through vents before.
Yeah.
Moira, how do you feel about stalking through the vents?
Just gives a short sigh and says, I can do it, if I must.
Well, I want to leave it in your hands. If you think you can find out stalking through the vents, then you should go ahead. But I leave it in your decision making.
We'll go through the vents.
Okay.
Oh, someone wants that bonus.
All right, so Moira's off into the vent. So then it's in fact 2-2 groups. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Mark and Evie and Lysander and Lamorsa, the L squad.
Yeah. We're here to
Oh,
take else. I mean, wait, hang on.
We're ready to take L's and kick ass. Wait.
And we're all out of L's.
We're all out of L's.
It's like winning, but you look at the scoreboard and you're like
At the lowest.
you're like 2, 6, 47.
It's like when you win because the other team was penalized.
It's like winning a league game where you've been doing shit in lane for like 40 minutes. You're like, this doesn't even feel good.
Yeah.
When you win a game, and like it was a fun game, but then the guy on your team that played the absolute worst starts talking shit in it afterwards.
I'm not.
That's me.
But yeah,
That's me. I'm
GG,
the guy.
Good
That's me.
scrubs.
I'm the person who's absolute shit, absolute dog water talking shit.
You're not affiliated with me.
It's me posting tank diff after I died 7 times. All right. Okay. All right. So Moira's off through the vents. Then the Blue Man group and Dumb and Dumber are off on their own.
Yes.
Ouch.
Was everyone racist to me?
Oh, so suddenly this is all about you. I see.
All right. Okay. Okay. Where is the two teams going? Where are you gonna head into the main hall, or do you want to take one of the other doors out of this room?
I think we'd start with the main hallway, figure out where these side places go, if they go anywhere.
We will go a different way then. We'll go through one of the other doors.
Right. Let's go with Mark and Evie first then.
All right.
You two make your way back out into the main chamber where you were greeted by the Major Domo a moment ago. There's a couple of go on, man. There's a couple of guards out in this kind of like atrium, like central room of the palace. It's large. There's like a big glass dome over it. Some like assorted plant placements. To be clear, holographic plants, not real plants.
Why would they have real plants?
Yeah, you can skulk around. There's a major door up ahead, like opposite of the main entrance, as well as the side door you came into. Across the room from you, there's another side door, and there's like stairs up to like the upper balcony level.
I think we should try the upper balcony level, see if we can make our way into the main room through there.
Yeah, sure. That seems like a good plan to me.
You're in the main room already, like the atrium of the palace.
Well, like into wherever they're doing
Oh, the meeting
main
room. Okay,
meeting
yeah.
room.
Okay.
the main meeting room.
Okay. Why don't the both of you give me a stealth roll?
I
You
would
got
love
it.
to give you a stealth roll.
Difficulty?
Thank you. I would like a difficulty. Ooh, give me difficulty 2, but give yourself a setback die.
Okay.
All right.
Oh boy.
Well,
Okay.
Cool. I love all of those advantages. Thank you.
You
Green
start.
dice.
You start skulking between kind of like covers of these like holographic plant displays and columns. Evie, you're used to skulking about. Your eyes beam. Skulking is what you do. Mark, you're not as used to skulking. Skulking is not what you do. You do flying. It's kind of the opposite of being stealthy.
Yeah, I fly a TIE fighter. Those aren't really known for stealth.
No, they
In
they
any form?
scream. They
Yeah,
scream when they fly.
Yeah, it's scary.
Which is why the two of you are kind of like slinking between columns, making your way towards the steps. Mark, you trip over a little bit. That itself is fine, but you manage to knock something over from one of the display tables, which falls to the floor with like a clatter as parts of it shatter. You quickly pull yourself back into cover. You've drawn the attention of a couple of the guards though, who make their way towards your direction to investigate.
Oh boy. How many are there?
There's 2 of them coming this way.
Evie
Gamorreans, if you're curious.
Evie is gonna try to keep walking, looking like she's supposed to be there. Like, you know,
Blending in.
blending in by making it seem like, well, what's your problem? I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be doing stuff. So that it doesn't, because if you freak out when you do something like that, it makes you look more suspicious. You know what I mean?
Sure. And what about Mark? Are you gonna respond to the guards are coming your way? I haven't seen you as far as you can tell.
What can I do to escape this? Oh.
Face to the face is always a valid option.
Theirs or yours. Either way works.
Yeah, I can just. I'm gonna let Evie keep going. I'm gonna stay behind and confront the guards.
Okay.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, okay. In that case, these 2 Gamorreans kind of round.
Can, like, round a corner and then stop. She's not gonna keep going super far without him, but
Okay. Well, these 2 Gamorreans, they do kind of round into the pillar and spot Mark. They kind of grunt and squeal in Gamorrean, which you just probably have no idea what they're saying. I don't know if you speak Gamorrean or not.
Yeah, no, he does not. He's gonna do hand gestures to signify diffusing situation. He's just gonna go, all right.
Okay. Gamorreans kind of look at each other and just kind of continue their grunting and huffing before one of them draws his axe from his back and kind of like gestures back towards the room that you came out of, like further down the wall.
Okay. I'm going to make a tactical decision and go back willingly.
Okay. Yeah, they kind of just one of them kind of shoves you a little bit as you make your way in. You get to the door. They make sure you enter the room, and Evie, you see as Mark enters, they turn to stand guard outside of the door.
Crap.
over comms, she's gonna say, the room we were in is guarded, and Mark is now being, and Mark is in there, and the room is now being guarded. Mark, you can attempt to go through the ventilation system, or we can attempt to subdue the guards, or you can simply wait.
There are other doors in that, like out of that room. Keep that as
Oh,
well.
are there?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, Lysandra and Lamorsa went through it.
Right. Yes. Sorry, I had a different picture of it.
All
in my
good. All
mind.
good. All good.
Mark is going to calm back. Let's not engage with them. Let's let them assume that they're still keeping guard.
All right, we'll coordinate when we can.
I'll see if I
continue
can make.
this route.
I'll see if I can route a way through the ventilation. I'll meet back up with you.
Ooh, Mark's gonna enter the vent shaft.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
this,
baby.
this will not go well, but
Where's the grease me up woman roll? It's the Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
I would assume that's also stealth. Maybe skulldugger. Well, no, I don't think skulldugger.
It's not skulldugger is like sleight of hand. That's like
Yeah.
taking pockets.
Coordination.
I was gonna say, no, I would actually say coordination.
Okay.
Give me a coordination difficult. Let's see. Mark's bigger than Moira is.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a coordination. Okay, give me coordination difficulty 2 setback, please.
2 setback. Ugh. I'm gonna tap a light point.
Okie dokie. You don't want to get stuck in there.
I don't.
Oh, you're gonna get stuck in there,
Come on, brother.
Do you have anything that
Angry
lets you
Vader.
roll coordinations?
I doubt it.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
No, not a chance.
No. All right, Mark. You get down on your knees to check the vent, and you put your hands in to get your elbow in, and then you try to get you go to get your hand in, and then you realize before you crawl any further, this is not gonna work. Before you get yourself stuck, you're like, okay, I'm like halfway in. If I try to get any more of myself in, I'm so good. This is so not gonna work. You just pull yourself back out. That's all happening.
Okay. Gonna calm back to Evie. I will have to find another way out.
Coordinate with the other group if necessary. I can continue this direction.
Aye, aye. He's gonna make his way out the other door.
All right, Moira. Life in the vents.
It's the pits.
Because it is eventful.
Ah! You got us.
Thank you, Magic. I appreciate your insight. Moira, you're making your way through the ventilation shafts. Which seems to have been a pretty good idea because it's not long before you start hearing voices. You will crawl towards them or away from them?
I will crawl towards them to see what's going on.
You crawl over, you manage to get over a grate in the ventilation system, looking down into a large octagonal chamber. Between the vent slits, you can see there are several huts in this room on their lounging seats. As well as a human who you recognize from the hollow you were shown as Lanzo Castia, who's talking with the huts in there.
All right.
Give me a perception roll. Difficulty. Give me 3, please.
Perception. Okay. Oh God. Difficulty 3. That's
Yes,
it.
please. That's it.
Okay.
Why we?
You can hear, snippets of the conversation that's happening down there. But what's more important to you is that it looks like the huts that are listening quite intently. Castia seems to have them hanging on to his words.
Would I be able to use my comms in this vent?
If you're real quiet about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, can I get away from the grate so that no sound gets through?
Well, I mean, at least less sound.
Less sound, yes.
Yeah, you can do that. You can shimmy back or shimmy forward.
I will move back away from the grate and get on comms with Evie and Lysander.
I mean,
Ooh,
presumably it's
conference call.
everybody, because we.
Well, I was just assuming because
You join the group.
it's.
Yeah, we have a. I assume we have a comm line for all of us to
Yeah.
communicate,
Yes, you
unless
definitely
otherwise
Yeah.
otherwise specified.
Then yeah, just with everyone, and say, I found the meeting room. They do seem, well, some of the huts seem to be very interested in taking this deal.
Can you give us the general location so we can attempt to get closer?
Would I be able to tell?
You can give an vague idea. Obviously, you took the vent, so it's a little different for you than it was for the others. That
Yeah.
will be for everyone else. But yeah, you can give like a pretty rough estimate.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll give the rough estimate as to where the meeting room is.
It's good information.
Yeah, I mean, based on the information that Mora is giving you, it's not a room that would be difficult for any of you to really get to. Well, I mean, other than the obvious challenge to get it, it's not exactly a hidden room, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
In that case, I think myself and Lamorsa will probably, wherever we've gotten to in our investigation, we would probably start moving in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
No solid plan of what we would do when we get there, but we'd figure that out once we were there.
Is Mora gonna linger above this vent and keep an eye on the chamber, or are you gonna do anything else?
Yes, you'd keep an eye on the chamber.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we will go to Lysander and Lamorsa, who will go. You have had an uneventful bit of sneaking about or skulking about until you got that comm. Mark probably catches up to you at this point.
Okay. Good to see you didn't get roughed up too bad. Glad to hear it. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You go. Okay. Well, the three of you are presumably then are going to make your way as best you can towards the meeting chamber.
Yes.
Well, you skulk around the hallways, and you're able to find your way in that rough direction, though the door into it is guarded by a couple of Gaborians.
Presumably different ones.
Different, definitely not the same Gaborians.
Okay.
That being said, not to presume racism on Mark's behalf, they're hard to tell apart.
Well, only made 3 character models for them.
It's almost like they're generic NPCs in an MMO or something.
Also the Gamorreans just are a species of I don't remember what it's called, but they just don't have a lot of difference within their species. They all just kind of look very similar.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they don't have very dimorphism or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very little sexual dimorphism, and just kind of not super varied traits.
Yeah, they just all kind of look very. It's like how, you know, there's a lot of species that just most members of a species just look the same, or close to the same.
Yeah.
Either way, there are some Gamorreans guarding this door.
How many are some?
3.
3.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
What's the best way to tackle this? They can see we're in the area, right?
They haven't spotted you.
Is it just a door? Is there, like how big is the exterior of the room?
The door is at the end of a hallway. You're kind of like peeking in from like a corner into this hallway.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're at like a T junction. You're coming up from the bottom and looking down the hallway to.
I see.
To see where this door is. The door itself is largish. I mean, it's big enough for huts.
Right.
And then some.
I think I will radio back into Moira and ask her what's going on in there, if anything's changed, before potentially approaching the guards.
More there's not much. Nothing has really changed in the room. Things seem to be going well in this meeting. At least, well for your insurgent foe.
Yeah.
In that case, I will radio into Evie to see where she's at.
All right. So she was trying to get to the higher level to get over to where the meeting was to see if there was an access.
There is. There is in fact a balcony door into that room.
All right. So gonna go in there very cautiously, trying to see what sort of vantage can get from there.
You quietly open the door into the meeting room, which it's kind of like tall cylindrical room where you can see at the top it's got a slightly domed ceiling, and you see there's an air vent at the top of the room. That's presumably where Moira is currently.
Okay.
On this balcony, there is a single Gamorrean standing with a rifle, who's like kind of looking down into the room. He seems to not really be paying attention.
Okay.
I will report all this quietly.
All right. I will. I'm not sure how best to progress. Could reconvene back into where they left us, ready to meet the hut, because I don't think talking to these guards is gonna really get us anywhere. And like breaking into the room, I don't think we'll have either. That seems.
Oh, we could stun.
Sorry.
We could try to stun.
We could try to stun.
High risk, high reward, but
You have to remember, if you let the meeting proceed, then they will probably secure the deal, which you don't want to happen.
yeah, we need to find a way to interfere with it without being super clear that it's us, if possible.
More from her vantage, cause some kind of disruption.
Could shoot into the room, I suppose, through the vent.
Funnily enough, I thought the same thing.
We should
Not a
drop
terrible
Like
idea.
shoot out a light or
honest.
something.
bomb or something. I don't know.
She doesn't have any of those.
Smoke bomb.
No,
Well, she
you
could.
probably want to get into that room, quite frankly. You want to make sure this deal doesn't go through, which means you will probably have to interfere with it. Like, you'll have to go in there.
Is there a fire alarm?
Yeah.
Is there a fire alarm?
Fire alarm? Not that you can see. Besides, most of that system is going to be automated.
Yeah.
Start a
We
fire.
would have to start a fire. Yeah, time is kind of the essence. I'd feel better if all of us were together. Is Moira in a place where she could drop into the room and we like burst in?
I would say with her ascension pistol, definitely. If she was just dropping in, that would hurt. But she has an ascension; she could rappel down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think if everyone else is fine with it, we endeavor to stun the guards in front of the door.
I am.
All right.
Works for me.
Okay.
I can also
Yeah,
try
sure.
to take the guy up here by surprise. If we're dealing with him as well.
Okay. All right. All right. So
That would be smart, yeah.
let's do Lysander, Mark, and Lamore. So first, there's 3 of you. There's 3 guards. If you hit, you could take 1 of them each.
Okay.
All right.
I assume you're gonna use stun with your weapons. You're not like gonna try and rush
Yeah.
up and knock him out. I assume you're just trying to fire a stun shot.
Correct.
Yes.
Fire in the hole. Grenade.
Let's see. Do all of you have a weapon that functions at this range? Yep, you sure do. You're all good on that. Do all of Mark? Does your blast have a stun setting?
That is a great question.
I'm pretty sure you said last session it didn't.
Yeah, it does not.
No, it does. It does.
It does? Okay.
It does. If you look here, it specifically has under special. It has a stun setting. So you're fine. It has a stun setting.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Most blasters do not, but it's never a given. You should always check. Blaster rifles do though. I do know blaster rifles all have the stun quality.
Before we engage in battle, can we see what their weapons are? Like what weapons they have, these guards?
The Gamorreans, they are all armed with vibro axes and a blaster.
Okay.
Okay. I think we just take the shot.
Yeah.
Let's fuck them up.
What's the difficulty, boss?
The difficulty is going to be 1, 2 setback for all of you.
Difficulty 2 setback.
I remove 1 setback because I'm awesome.
No!
Tez, am I allowed to aim with true aim?
I'll let you. This isn't technically a combat check because if you hit, I'll let you stun them. So I'll let you regular aim, not true aim.
Okay.
Okay. Can I use my coordinate assault?
What was that?
Can I use my coordinate assault?
No.
Okay.
Should it look like this?
It depends if you're. Are you gonna aim?
You should aim.
I aim.
Then you get the boost die as well.
Okay, boost die. Thank you.
Aiming is the boost die.
And I'm also firing at my guy. Yes.
In that case, it's basically this. Actually, the roll for you is different. So we'll resolve yours after.
Yeah, we can do mine after.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready?
And then, of course, if you want to tap any points, you can. Well, you only have the 1 light side point. I'm gonna upgrade the difficulty of Mark's shot.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
How rude.
Well, he has the best
I'm
skill
joking.
to shoot.
Yeah, no, like that. If it's gonna be put on anyone, it's probably best on me.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
And also, it's more interesting if the points are flipped frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We all.
Go ahead.
3, 2, 1. You are kidding.
That's a hit, and a this. Okay. The two blast shots, well, 3 blast shots ring out. One of the guards is stunned, drops to the ground. The other one, just about to react, falls. The third one, having had a moment more of time to react, like throws himself against the wall, avoiding Mark's stun blast. Evie, go ahead and now it's your turn. You give me your roll. You're gonna have a difficulty 1. You're going to have 2. You're gonna have a boost die added to you. No setback.
Okay.
Because you are behind this guy. You're right up against him.
He has no reason to think that someone would be over here. That would be crazy.
There's like a 2-meter difference between the two of you right now.
Okay. And I got nothing else to add to it, so
All right. Yep, you sure do knock him out.
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
He falls to the floor of the balcony. That being said, it's not a quiet shot. The
No, I
people
didn't think
down
so.
in the meeting chamber definitely heard it.
And Evie is down, like squatting.
Yeah, you can hear the chatter stop as they, as the meeting comes to a halt from the sound of shots. Meanwhile, back with the trio, the Gamorrean who did not get stunned is going to slam his fist into a button next to the door, which starts to sound off an alarm.
Well, that'll probably stop the meeting, or at least slow it
Then
down.
he is going to rush towards you. He's going to spend a maneuver to run at you,
Yep.
at Mark,
From short to engaged.
from short to engaged, and he's going to heave his his axe up. You used a
Ranged weapon.
You
So I
used
believe he gets
a
a boost.
he does get a that's correct, but it's not no, never mind. That part only applies if your attack. My mistake.
Yep.
He gets a boost, and I think that's it. He's just gonna whack you. He's gonna whack you real good though.
Ow. Ow.
Yeah. This is gonna hurt you.
Yeah, this is really gonna hurt.
Let's see. That's 5 successes, Christ. Okay, so that's gonna be 12 damage, pierce 2.
Oh my god. Alright, well. Yeah.
As he just fucking clunks into you with his Vibrax. But now the 3 of you get to go, so you can kind of just fuck him up.
Alright, I guess we'll just blast again to stun this guy.
Go ahead.
Yes, boss.
Now you can trim if you'd like to, Logan. Now it's combat.
Okay. I would like to shoot this guy dead.
Dead?
Well,
Okay.
okay. No. Sorry. I'm saying that because I want him down. I don't actually want to kill him.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. All right.
I know they
I'm gonna have
take initiative, but Jesus.
Lysander, you go first. How about that? You go first right now.
Thank you. What? I'm just gonna blast, shoot to stun.
Okay. Short range, there's no longer any setback.
No setback. Can I?
Oh, actually, let me confirm that he doesn't have armor. Yes, there's no setback. 1 short range.
Short range, and I can aim first, right?
You can take a maneuver to aim. Yes.
I boost. Whoopa.
You get a boost. Opa! Ow! Christ Almighty. Okay. Yeah. That's your turn. Lamorsa, do you want to go next, or do you want Lysander to go next?
You mean Mark?
Yes. Lysander already went.
Yeah.
No, I
Okay,
mean
go
Logan's new character, also called Lysander.
It's very confusing.
We're gonna call you Old Lysander, and we're gonna call him Lysander.
Yeah, Mark can go ahead.
All right, Bogan. It's your turn.
It's me.
You're gonna take the shot.
Yeah. So it's engaged.
It's
So
it's range versus melee. So
Yes.
it's a difficulty 3 shot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No armor,
going-
no adversary. So it's just a straight shot from your end
Okay.
or from my end.
I'm going to true aim, which gives
No.
me 1 boost, and I get to upgrade twice because I got a new rank.
No,
And then I'm going to aim.
I take that rank.
No.
I'm gonna move it to tomorrow and use it against you to tomorrow's session instead.
You bastard.
Eat my shorts.
How about you eat mine for once,
Holy shit.
bitch?
Very well, Matthew, pass me the salt.
There you are.
I
Some
will eat
ideas
Bogan's
for
shorts
spending.
now. Okay. All right, I have calculated.
Can I?
Yes.
Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No.
Yeah, say something.
Mm-mm.
First, must answer my riddle.
Bitch.
You could do something vital with your triumph.
I could. I think I will.
Okay. Fine. Jeez.
All right then.
You could also use your advantages to crit and basically just knock the guy out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Alright.
Make sure he gets downed.
Yeah, he's brawling with you. He heaves his vibrak up for another blow. You put the barrel of your blaster into his chest and pull. He takes the stun shot. You see his body basically jolt with it, and he keeps going. So you pump several shots of stun into him. Honestly, you're pretty sure his heart should have stopped by now. Quite frankly, before he slumps over to the ground, spasming from all the stun damage. You then quickly fire. You start making your way down the hallway towards the door into the meeting room, shooting at the panel next to it, which is going to just undo all the security going on here.
Perfect.
All right.
Making our way back to our room. Act like we did nothing. Walking fast.
Finally, we're going to enter the meeting room.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we
but-
just fucked those 3 guards up. That's how this fight.
It's just a message. They're gonna walk out of that room after their deal. Like, good heavens!
This could be us.
No, we're gonna bust in.
Yeah, let's go. You got a bus. He starts
Alright.
running away.
The more take point. You've got big guns.
Yes, sir. Lethal or non-lethal?
You're gonna go in weapons drawn.
That's a good question.
Yes.
They could
I-
see that as a threat.
We could just walk in, like diplomatically, I guess. Would they have
With
likely
the alarm
heard-
blaring?
Sorry.
Said with the alarm blaring?
All right. We'll go in. Guns not blazing, but be ready to blaze guns at a moment's notice.
So weapons drawn, but not you're not ready on
Drawn,
the trigger
but-
to shoot immediately.
But down and to the side,
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you make your way in. Evie, are you gonna stay up on the balcony or drop into the room?
Yeah, she's gonna walk from up there. But once the others are in, if she hears talking happening, she's gonna stand up, like she's, supporting.
Yep. Okay. And Moira, once you see the rest of the team enter the room,
I will. Assuming this grate can be broken off,
yeah.
do that, and then use my ascension pistol
Okay.
to repel back down. Or repel down.
From what was less than 20 seconds ago, a productive meeting has now been interrupted as Imperial commandos enter the scene into a round chamber with like maybe a dozen or so huts, some present in holographic form, while some are present in person. In the middle of this room, the human that you saw on the hologram, Lanzo Castia, dressed, in like a nice, smuggler's trench coat, essentially. Well, it's bushy, with a firmly kept upper mustache decorating his upper lip as you all make your way in, and everyone's looking. The huts are muttering and in outrage at the. And Lancer just looks your way. It's like, well, how about that? It takes a moment before, as you all kind of enter and make yourself known here, before one of the huts of a darker, almost like lilac shade to his skin kind of speaks up. He's like, what is the meaning of this?
We were sent here to oversee this agreement, to make sure that it's an agreement that the Empire can agree with.
The Hutt, who you can identify as Jogra the Hutt, based on information you were given, looks insulted.
If everything is above board, you won't mind our oversight. Right? That doesn't seem like the right word.
It works.
Yeah. I'll say it anyway.
Sure. Lancer kind of chimes in and says, now, I don't know about y'all, but as far as I'm concerned, this is just a friendly negotiation between private partners. I don't see why the Empire's got to be involved.
Well, in that case, you won't mind us watching. Nothing to hide, nothing to fear.
Like, well, that seems like a gross breach of privacy, but all right.
Well, yeah,
You got me there.
Please, by all means, continue.
Semra the Hutt speaks up and says, we object to this intrusion of the Empire into private business on our planet.
Well, explain to us the terms of this deal, and if there's no issues, we'll leave you to it.
This Jogra kind of chimes in at this point, so that you are speaking from position of authority when this deal does not concern you. You will leave when I say you will leave.
Frankly, we have reason to believe that this is a deal the Hutts should not be engaging in, and as such, we are here to make sure that everything is fine.
There's a muttering and chattering between all the different huts. Though after a moment of that, Lanzo decides to speak up again. He's like, now, your esteemed excellences, I believe the good captain over here might have a point about that. However, it is worth pointing out that it says, while this deal does not currently include the Empire, and never has, I believe a part of the agreement in this chamber is that you have to be represented and sponsored by a Hutt to participate in these negotiations. Now, ain't that correct, y'all? And Jogger kind of grumbles and gives a slow nod, says, it is true. These are the rules. Says, now, I happen to have my sponsor here with me, Mighty Samra the Hutt. But y'all, well, do you happen to have a Hutt sponsor? Because if y'all don't, then I quite frankly don't see well, what y'all's business here in this meeting even is.
Mark is going to speak up. Our sponsor is continuing to allow the Hut Cartel to operate within the Empire. That should be more than enough.
Yeah. Okay. Tell you what.
Yep.
I'm gonna start a little clock.
Clocks.
I'm gonna start a clock for hot patients. If the clock runs out, then you have lost the patience of the huts. You don't want that. And I'm going to add another one for, let's call it the negotiation time. I'll take it up twice. Once that runs out, the negotiation is over, regardless.
Okay.
The negotiation will end prematurely if the huts lose their patience.
Wait, so does it have to fill up? Like, does it have to be full for the
flip-flop.
negotiation to end, or
The
empty?
negotiation will end when the clock fills out.
Okay.
Any check. This is your chance to make different checks and make your cases for the huts to try and win their favor to the point where at least you can ensure that this deal doesn't go through. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Mark, go ahead and make me a coercion roll, please.
Okay.
Difficulty 3. I'm going to tap a dark side point on it. That's one.
Oh boy. Can I argue for
No.
a boost? Okay.
What's your case?
I was gonna say, can I argue for a boost die in that I have my entire team with me, and we clearly have taken out their security with minimal effort.
Okay, sure, I can see it. Before you make that roll, though,
Yeah.
let me take a look here. Here we are. This is a coercion check, so I'm gonna need you to upgrade it once more
Ah.
for targeting huts.
Yeah. I am gonna need this.
Go right ahead.
Oh boy. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god!
I will
Oh, shit.
I will increase hut patience as well as the negotiation time.
That fucking boost die saved your ass.
Oh, it absolutely did.
Jeez.
I wonder if that was harder than the roll that Greer made that one time.
Uh,
I wonder what the odds between those two were.
because they say that the dice pool is much smaller, but the odds is what matters.
Yeah. Anywho.
Anywho, the huts kind of grumble and mumbles, and Jogrudge kind of he concedes your point. You can see that, but Semra is not as keen to do so.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, sorry. I was just checking some stats real quick. My mistake.
Mhm.
Samra, after a few moments of this, speaks with a says, "You're like the Empire has no business here." One says, Whether that is the case, this is a private deal between private citizens. Which, again, to participate in, you must have a sponsor, which you do not. Lancer's like, see, he's got you there. I'm negotiating with the trust and faith of mighty Samra the Hutt.
Well,
Now, I ain't saying that the Empire ain't mighty and grand and whatever have you. But what I am saying is that you, as individuals, currently ain't backed by any Hutts in this negotiation. Meaning, whether the Empire's with y'all or not, you don't have a place here.
that's only to negotiate, right? We're not here to negotiate.
Well, as the mighty Jogger and Semra have let you know, you are not welcome in that capacity.
Can I quickly ask?
Mhm.
What is the stat that helps like in conversations? Is it presence or willpower?
That depends. You have several social stats.
Yeah.
Oh,
It purely depends. Presence is good again for charm, leadership, and negotiation. Cunning for deception, and willpower for coercion.
hold on, I need to Google that word. Okay. I whispered to Lysander.
Yeah.
Sir, do you reckon we could perhaps get a sponsor if we promise to reward one of the present Hutts here? If they were to sponsor us?
I think you're onto something, but I'm not sure what we can offer them.
Surely we, as the Empire, can offer them something of great value.
Yeah, I suppose. Do you want to try something, or do you want me to talk to them?
I would prefer if you were the one to do the talking.
All right. Gentlemen, Hutts, I'm sure at least one of you wants something that the Empire can provide you in exchange for a sample rank and file soldiers sitting in on this innocent negotiation.
Give me a negotiation roll. Difficulty 3. I'm going to tap a dark side point to upgrade the difficulty of that.
Upgrade difficulty. Less.
And I'm going to... No, I'm not going to penalize you. You have positive Hut patience. I will not penalize you.
All right.
Okay. The negotiation advances, and you lose 2 Hut patience.
Jesus.
The Huts kind of grumble and mutter amongst themselves before Semra speaks up again and says, Nar Shaddaa is not under Imperial jurisdiction. Perhaps on Coruscant or Alderaan you have the right to sit in as you please, but here you respect our law.
I would never want to disrespect the Hutts, but please be sympathetic to our position. It would be greatly damaging to the Empire if something untoward were happening here.
Well, it's a good thing nothing untoward is happening then. We're simply negotiating a friendly arms deal, that's all.
It would really put the mind at ease if we give him a first-hand account of what's happened here. I'm name dropping, well, not name dropping, but I'm name dropping the Moth.
Yep.
As a sort of.
What were you going to say, Sophia?
Oh, I was going to say, I obviously, as a real person, don't know the ins and outs of Imperial law, but Evie would. Could I do some kind of role to have imperial law to quote about like specifically I'm thinking about like selling arms within the empire that would apply to citizens. So like I don't know if this guy lives in the empire, but it would citing laws at them that if they were in breach of would be unideal.
Are you trying to make a knowledge check for this, or are you trying to basically like tell them? Are you trying to make a
Yeah,
check?
I think I want to do I want to start with a knowledge check to see if like I know that enough that I
Okay.
can quote it.
Go ahead and give me an education roll, difficulty 3, please.
Okay. All right.
Come
All right.
on.
I don't know nothing. All
Bruh.
There's no specific laws that come to your mind, though.
right.
Though it is even so, it is worth keeping in mind. This is Narshada, which is technically not imperial.
Yeah. No, my thing was more not. It was like selling weapons to imperial citizens, even if you are here, could make you not.
True.
Could,
Well, you do not
reflect
know.
fully on the cartel. All right, then I'm gonna bluff.
Okay.
And basically,
You're more than welcome to do.
I just wanted to see if I actually knew first.
Sure.
And I'm gonna say, from my standpoint, but project as much as I can.
Mhm.
Under imperial law, of course, does not apply here on Nashada, but it could reflect poorly upon the clan if you were seen as in breach of imperial law, selling arms to citizens through unofficial channels, and may reflect poorly upon your relations with the Senate.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a deception roll. This is going to be a real fun one for you.
Gotta find it.
This is going to be now. You're targeting the huts.
Yes, I am.
Yes. So because you're targeting the huts, that's going to be the base of what you're trying to do is going to be a difficulty 3 roll.
Yes.
You're targeting the huts, so they upgrade it thrice.
Holy shit.
They upgrade the difficulty of coercion checks against them thrice.
Well, this is deception, not coercion.
Charm, coercion, deception.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I only listed one of them. It's my bad. They do all 3.
I am gonna hit a light side point to upgrade my ability.
Upgrade your ability.
And there's nothing else I can do there. So let's go. Come on, baby.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna advance the negotiation timer. I'm not going to decrease their patience, but I'm not going to advance it either.
All right.
There's some more muttering and grumbling. But betwixt the huts as they consider what's being said. Jogra decides to chime in again after a few moments and says, "It reflects poorly on your position to barge into private meetings either way, especially armed."
Your secretary didn't give us much choice.
Because I'm in a private meeting. But how would you like it if I came to you while you are on business with scattergun drawn?
Someone as esteemed as yourself, our secretary will let you in without a second thought.
That's like, well, says the good man and I at least agree that your eminence is quite esteemed, mighty Jogra. Still, I, for one, agree. I don't much care for my negotiations being interrupted by armed thugs.
Folks with special orders.
Thugs with a special name, though.
Try to think of what to say is so hard.
Yeah. Lancer chimes in. What matters here, my esteemed Council of Huts, is that regardless, he gestures towards you, this is the Empire trying to muscle in on y'all's private business. They kind of mutter and grumble, and you can see they're taking the bait, as they're all libertarians. They want the government as far out of their business as possible.
Hearing that Huts are libertarians is not something I expected to hear, but it is accurate.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Like,
That's funny.
like, never let it be said that they're not.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Those guys hate taxes.
Probably.
Who doesn't?
Semra piggybacks off of what Lanzo's saying and says, "It's true. For too long has the Empire been infringing on our rights here on Hata. Not Hata. No, it's the moon of Hata.
Close enough.
Says, Hut space remains independent of your Empire. Your presence here on our moon is merely because we allow you to.
I'm sure you value that independence. You must understand, though, that the independence comes from a mutual respect between yourselves and the Empire. You cannot simply disregard us when we want to make sure that everything, as I say, is above board.
Okay. I'm going to progress the negotiation timer, because you're moved on to a new stage. Like each time you move to a new argument or case, it advances.
Right.
Whether or not you make a check, right? Because the negotiation happens either way.
Sure.
I'm going to make a roll. Lanzo's going to make a roll. He is going to make a charm roll against the Huts to see if things ebb in his favor. They sure do.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to decrease your patience.
Uh-oh.
As Lanzo seems to have these Huts eating out of the palm of his hand.
I think someone should point out that the resistance would then be mooching off the Huts.
Sorry, let me get my words. But I had something. Let me get it correct in my head first.
Yes.
I'm juggling a lot of information. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Take your time.
That's furthermore, says, he gestures to Lysander, says, now, you of course said that you're just here to supervise, but if the Empire truly valued their partnership with the Huts and were truly concerned about the cartel making some kind of ill-advised deal, then I simply ask you, if you respect the mighty Hut cartel, the mighty Jogra, our esteemed host, why would your Grand Moff send you in his stead instead of appealing directly to his allies and partners in trade?
This man, and he spends.
So is is all of these esteemed Huts who've taken their time to negotiate.
Well, he sent his special forces to take care of it.
huts kind of rumble a little bit. Jogra is gonna chime in and says, "It is an insult to be delivered an attack dog instead of a peace pigeon."
Most humble apologies. The Grand Moff wishes he could have made it here. Please accept myself as his stand-in.
Unfortunately, there are some concerns within the Empire at the moment that demand the Grand Moff's attention, and surely...
Samura's he's gonna cut Evie off.
Okay, yeah.
As he's like, "What? When aren't there problems within your empire?"
Oh, I'm sure you're familiar with the current Grey Fox situation that we're currently dealing with. You know what the rebels are like.
And surely things are not all well in the Hutt cartel either.
Lance is like, "Oh, I don't know. Things seem quite mighty fine to me." Samura? And Samura kind of gives like a hum and a nod, says, "Things are proceeding very well."
Do I be a bit of a prick
Do it.
here? Okay.
Well, yeah, whatever you guys want. You need to you don't want that patience to run out. That's mostly what matters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. This might tick it down if I'm not careful about this. Okay. Fuck it, we ball.
Go on.
Clearly not if we were able to get in here without much effort from your guards.
Ooh. Go ahead. I'm gonna have you make me a roll.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to treat this as coercion. It's not outright a threat, but it's the closest thing to what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I
So-
get that.
Go ahead and give me a coercion roll. I'm gonna put the
Difficulty?
difficulty on this at 2. I'm not going to upgrade it, but I am going to give you a setback because of the current hot patience.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll give you,
I'm-
before you roll, I will also give you a boost die because you guys are armed and that is you have a show of force going on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. I will
Oh.
increase their patience and advance the negotiation timer.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
However, I know how I'm going to use the threats.
Yes.
As Mark speaks, give me a go ahead and give me a perception roll, Mark. Difficulty 2, please.
Do a flat roll. Okay.
You notice, based on the slightly bemused look on Lanzo's face, that you might have walked into a trap there.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no, they got that on recording.
Lance is like, "Right you are. That being said, I think it's poor manners to, if you want a seat at the table, to barge in weapons drawn, not to mention attacking guards of our esteemed host." Jogra seems displeased.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else have any other ideas?
I
Um,
had a train of thought, but I kind of lost it. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking.
It beams back into your mind. Hold on.
Get it in there. Get it in there.
That's me beaming the thought into Matt's mind. It's a very painful process.
It felt painful. Someone else can go if I can't think of it. I'll think of it in like 3 days.
Yeah, you'll come to me in voice in the morning and be like, yes, I have it.
Let's hop on Foundry.
We've got rolls to make.
I'm brainstorming.
He's cooking your goose, gang. He's cooking your goose.
And my goose!
I'm sure it's important to all of you that the Huts and the Empire maintain a healthy relationship. I think that denying us a seat at this table would greatly weaken that positive relationship.
And does the Empire then want a seat at every Hut negotiation table, every deal struck?
We'd like the option.
Like that, my friend, sounds an awful lot like an infringement to me, especially in a place where you're in no position to make such a demand.
Well, in mutual respect, we would offer the same thing for the Huts.
Of course.
Where?
That's a racing about it. Are you says pardon, but are you implying that you would offer the Huts a seat at every Imperial negotiation table?
Between Imperial forces and other entities in the galaxy? If something dramatic could come of a negotiation that affects both ourselves and the Huts, then by my reason, the Huts should be there. And likewise, in this negotiation, we should be here.
Well, that sounds an awful lot to me like you just want the Hut cartel as another piece in your sentence. Now,
No.
says now I shouldn't have to remind you what happened to the Republic with its overbloated Senate.
Not suggesting like that. Just that both parties should be well aware of what's happening in the galaxy.
What you're asking for is agency over the Hut cartel when they don't have any agency over the governance of your empire.
Just want to sit in. We're not trying to make any changes to how the Huts operate.
And yet this show of force is what? Just not some kind of display meant to change opinions?
Listen, we could have blasted our way in here, but we kept all casualties to an absolute minimum to make sure that we were able to get to this meeting room in time for any negotiations. We did what we had to make sure that we could be here, and nothing more.
Go ahead and make me a roll. I think.
I get on the floor to gamble.
Oh.
There you
are. I think I want. Give me. Charm or negotiation, you choose.
It's all the same to me, but I'll do a charm
You
roll.
choose. You'll do a charm roll? Alright. That's gonna be difficulty 2 upgraded thrice.
3 upgraded difficulties.
Yes, you just hit upgrade difficulty 3 times.
Jesus.
It should look like 2 challenge die, 1 difficulty die.
Yeah. I will tap our last light side point.
Go ahead.
to upgrade ability.
Go right ahead.
Damn it!
Okay. Gonna decrease patience. I'm going to increase the timer.
Oh boy.
The huts kind of grumble. Eventually, Jogra kind of speaks as, enough, we are now, says, thanks to this disruption, we are out of time. He grumbles, says, Shamra, get your house in order before you convene before the next meeting. We will reopen this matter in 4 days. Samra kind of grumbles, but Lancer just kind of flashes this. He just keeps an easygoing response. Says, well, thank you all for your time, your excellences, as my esteemed host. He gestures to the rest of you, to the party. Says, esteemed Imperials, thank you for the light-hearted debate and discussion. I look forward to continue it in 4 days hence. See y'all later. He's gonna walk towards Semra, who's gonna start heading out. The huts, all the hut holograms shut off, and the huts that are in person are gonna start moving their way out of this room. That being said, a Gamorrean gonna approaches the party.
All right.
Sorry, no. Let me walk that back real quick. A protocol droid is going to approach the party.
Okay.
He's like his esteemed excellence, the mighty Jogra, wishes to speak with you immediately.
Yes, right away.
Evie comes down, rejoins the group.
Yep. The meeting room is vacating as you make your way towards Jogra, who looks down at you. He rests into his his hot throne, his lounging armchair. Like you try our patience, Empire dogs.
Our apologies, sir. But it is important to our higher-ups that this negotiation be observed.
So you do not wish to observe it, you wish to end it.
Could I suggest you speak with our commander, the Grand?
You gotta dismiss it. It says, your Moff has done me an insult by sending dogs in his place. I will not speak to him. He says, how, regardless, it is important to note that the human Lancer is right. You need a sponsor to speak at these meets. If you wish to continue your interference, you better get that in order, or the deal will go through in 4 days.
Very well. We will see what we can do about that.
Now, before I lose my patience, leave my palace.
All right. We will hurriedly leave him to his devices.
Right? You start filtering out. You make your out of the meeting room, gathering it fully as a group so you can talk on the way out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least we delayed it.
That is true.
The important part. We certainly haven't gained any friends as of yet, but I do believe we've planted the seed of doubt.
Yes.
As you walk, you hear, excuse me, fellas, ladies, you mind a word?
Can we help you?
You see Lanzo kind of approaching you from the wings.
Please walk and talk with us.
Says, oh no, says, don't mean to be bothered. It's just a quick few words. I'm gonna pop off to talk to Samra some more.
Oh yes, what is?
He gestures his hand, says, Lanzo Castia, pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Nice to meet you.
So let's see. So you are Lysander. That's Moira. That's Mark. That's the one you call the Morsa, and that's Nalivi. Correct? I get all that right.
Perhaps. What is your point?
If we are gonna be engaged in a duel of wits, I simply wanted to make a formal introduction. That's all. I got to tell you, y'all did a fantastic job dismantling the piranha on Balmora.
You're a well-informed man, I see.
You sure am. The boss expects me to be.
An informant, then.
Says, oh, I consider myself something of a jack of all trades. I don't like to put myself in a tiny little box. It makes me feel claustrophobic, you know?
Right.
Right.
So how
Your
can we
point,
help
then?
you?
But, well, I told you, I merely wanted to make an introduction.
Oh well,
That's all.
that
Now that the
will
introduction's been made, I will let y'all scurry on back to your little Imperial Command Center, and no doubt we'll see each other 4 days hence.
most likely. We'll see you then.
Toodaloo! And gives you a wave and walks back towards Semra.
What a strange guy.
We'll have a laminate armor on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because I was worried he was like trying to get our names so we cannot infiltrate rebel stuff anymore because they would know our faces.
Well, I mean, during the negotiation, you would have probably taken off your helmets anyway because you don't
Yeah.
want to be.
Yeah, we're
Oh.
gonna be not helmeted when we.
Yeah, so he knows what you look like, but even so, he already knew who you were. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, you resume your walking and conversation amongst yourselves, I assume.
Yeah.
Captain, you might have gotten the clue that that individual, Sir Castia, or Mr. Castia, mentioned a certain boss.
Right.
Do you get where I'm? Do you realize where I'm getting at?
Why don't you go ahead and say it?
Well, granted this Castia is so well informed, especially on our operations on Balmora, I do assume that he is a direct underling of the man we're searching for, Grey Fox.
It's entirely possible that they're associated. I wouldn't want to jump to conclusions. But certainly something to keep an eye on.
It could be a potential direct line of information about his identity.
Indeed. So I would suggest that we, under any circumstance, try to gather as much information about him as possible, especially after this negotiation ordeal.
Yes.
In a non-aggressive way, non-confrontational way, of course. We do not want to get the Huts on our bad side, even after the negotiations.
The more we can learn about him in this 4-day window, the better. That is certain. That'll definitely help us with at least with this negotiation.
Agreed.
Our main focus right now needs to be finding a sponsor.
I assume there will be possibilities. For certain, there will be at least one Hut who will have found our entrance rather interesting, intriguing.
Perhaps.
I'm inclined to agree.
You get a taxi and start making your way back to the promenade, I assume.
Yeah. I don't think that they want us staying here right now.
He was quite explicit that he didn't want you staying here. He wanted you out of his palace.
Yep.
Well, luck would have it for you. As you land at the promenade, get out of your taxi and start making your way back. Your path forward is cut off. As a tall Wookiee with slightly aged fur steps out in front of you.
I guess if he's in front, we'll stop and see if he wants to say something.
Looks over you for a moment and says, "You 5."
Yes.
And says, "My boss wants to see you."
Who are
My name is Greytalk.
Mmm.
And your boss?
I represent the interests of Baul the Hutt.
Ah, a hut. Well, we would be interested
We
in
would-
meeting. You can take us there.
By all means.
He kind of just gives like an acknowledging grunt and just walks off back, like towards the shuttle area of the promenade.
Guess we'll go along with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Greytalk takes you onto a taxi and shuttles you. He doesn't drive. The droid drives the taxi, but he takes you a little bit away from the promenade to to one of the plentiful large sky casinos of Nar Shaddaa. These large floating structures of opulence and extravagance. You touch down and make your way in, immediately to be greeted with loud live music, flashing neon signs, and the sounds of roulette machines and everything kind of going on around the room. It's a whole casino.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you expect. He takes you to the back though, past some other.
It's cut out.
We lost Tez.
Farewell.
Can't believe this.
Hold on.
Oh, there you go. Oh, magic has brought me back.
Yeah, I defibbed.
It worked. He leads you to the back, past some bounty hunter guards, and into like an area that very much looks like a backstage kind of hallway. You know, it's more gray and there's like equipment and stuff set around. It takes you up to a door. Opens. He presses the button to open and gestures to you and says, "Boss in here. Try not to make him angry."
All right. Sure. We in.
Step on in. You enter a decent-sized room with kind of like a large window looking out over the casino and dance floors of the, like looking out onto the floors properly. It's like a large VIP area essentially.
Yeah.
There's like a hut throne in here, currently facing out the window, with with a hut seated in it. Who, upon your entry, there's some mechanisms trigger, and that throne like rotates to face towards the party. Hello, Tommy.
Kali the Hut.
Tommy the Hut. Hello, Tommy the Hut. Have you come to sponsor? Sorry, I was scratching Tommy. You have to understand. This is stage presence.
Understandable.
You honoured us, sir, inviting us here.
Oh, Tuka Pinatama. He speaks in Huttese. There's a protocol droid that kind of shuffles out from behind and says, the esteemed Baul thanks you for taking the time to come meet him.
Of course. We would never want to keep you waiting.
Baul speaks some more, after which the protocol droid translates for your benefit. For the benefit of the audience at home.
Yes, obviously we as all know hoodies.
Well, I mean, you might not. That's really up to individual decision. There's no languages. Like, you know whatever language you think your character knows.
Yeah.
I think that Evie would know Huttese. That seems relevant.
I mean, it is the second most spoken language in the galaxy,
Yeah.
beyond Galactic Basic.
Maybe Lysandra might be very studious. I don't.
Mark does not.
Morsa doesn't.
Nope. Me neither.
Entirely speaks Japanese.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're a big.
I would shit myself if my cat started speaking like Jabba.
Fair enough.
Clean my litter box.
It says, His glorious eminence, Baul the Hutt, believes that he might be able to assist you with a predicament that you might find yourselves in.
You must be talking about need a sponsor for a upcoming negotiation.
Oh, Bogatana! The mighty Baul says that is correct.
Well, that is indeed something we're after. Is there something you are wanting in return for?
The mighty Baul says, of course there is.
And what could we do for you?
Balkan continues speaking on a little bit before the protocol droid translates for it. Says his glorious eminence, Baul the Hutt, wants to inform you that he is something of a collector of rare relics.
Okay.
He says, there is no love lost. To his understanding, there is no love lost currently between you and mighty Baul's rival, Semra the Hutt, patron of the human Lanzo Castia.
Right, okay.
Baul speaks, and the droid keeps translating. Therefore, Baul wishes to propose a deal. Semra the Hutt has something that his magnanimous eminence would like in his possession.
I continue listening.
It says, the mighty Semra has come across a Clone Wars relic.
Oh.
That he managed to outbid our most esteemed and glorious master for at an auction. Baul kind of annoyed reaches out and smacks the backhead of the protocol droid. By the way, it's worth noting Baul, he's, pretty normal, though notably has, one of his arms has just been completely replaced with a prosthetic arm of gold.
Oh, can you
Interesting.
give me 1 second?
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with that.
I will give you 1 second. I've given Matt 1 second, I'm continuing.
Oh. How do you spell his name?
Baul?
Baoll.
Like this.
Wait, where am I looking? Discord, Foundry?
In
Foundry.
Boundary.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I almost had it. Because I'm noting
yeah.
all of the important names down, so I don't forgo.
Done a Fargor.
Tell you what, hold on. Here is a list of the most important names you have gained this session.
Oh my god, I always forget the double A at the end of names.
Well, I mean, it's Star Wars names, they're silly like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. George Lucas intended us to never spell a name correctly.
correct.
Did you know it's actually spelled Jabba? No, it's...
George!
Hey, what are you going to do about it, dipshit? What have you contributed to society? I made Star Wars.
Well, I consume Star Wars.
Well, good on you. Thank you for enjoying my show and movies.
I return.
George, like, did you also like my other prominent work, Indiana Jones?
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
He's play. Well, you won't believe how I got to play him.
That's right, this prick.
He gestures to Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Harrison, how old did Harrison Ford turn? I think he turned like 82 a couple days
He-
ago.
Yeah.
George,
My God.
like, I love this day. Great. I want it with all my movies.
Harrison Ford just says, "I fucking hate you."
like, please let my soul go. No.
Harrison Ford says, "For the love of God, I want to do anything else. Literally anything else."
Keep playing Han Solo,
Let me
dipshit.
go.
Right.
Please
Where were
set
we? Oh
me
yeah,
free.
that's where were we? Oh yeah. Like it says my apologies. What I meant to say is that the vicious fiend Samra the Hutt managed to steal from right under Mighty Bowl's grasp. However, Mighty Bowl would like to have this relic rightfully returned to his collection. It says if you are willing and able to retrieve this relic, then Baul would be more than happy to sponsor you as his patron in the upcoming negotiations.
I think that's a fair term. What exactly is the relic, if I could ask?
Bo's like, you got Damanana Count Dooku.
Count Dooku?
The protocol droid speech says the Mighty Bowl is interested in retrieving the lightsaber of Count Dooku.
Oh. Count Dooku's name just coincidentally is pronounceable by the Hutts.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the
I mean-
exact same word.
I mean,
Right, the Hutts can speak basic, they just don't.
well, some Hutts can speak basic. Obviously, that's like they're capable of speaking basic. Yeah, that and also like Dooku is just his name, so like they have to pronounce it somehow.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they would also be able to say Palpatine because that's his name.
All right, we can do that. What can you tell us about its whereabouts?
The protocol droid's like, unfortunately, his esteemed and glorious eminence has very little information to give, other than that his filthiness, Samra the Hutt, has it contained in some kind of vault.
Right. Okay.
It says, I believe it is implied that the gathering of information is part of your assignment.
Yes. That is something we're pretty good at.
Wonderful.
If that's all the intel you have for us, we can get cracking with that.
Bowl speaks some more, after which the protocol droid continues to enter. Says, excellent. His glorious eminence is pleased to have reached this arrangement. If you need anything further from him, he asks that you communicate through his associate, Greertak, the slave Wookiee that fetched you.
Thank you for this opportunity. I give Fowl a nod.
His esteemed and glorious eminence hopes that you have a great day. He gets smacked in the back of the head. A great day.
All right. I guess we'll leave Fowl to it.
Yep. You step outside. Greertak gives you The guy crosses arm before he starts leading you back out of the casino.
Right. How do we feel about stealing back this lightsaber?
I mean,
We're not stealing it back. We're just stealing it.
It's because
Well,
you're just stealing it. It
suppose.
was never in his possession.
I have no objection to doing so.
it is our only option after all.
Indeed.
Well, you could pursue another hunt yourselves. You could.
Yeah,
This is just an
We could, but where's the fun in that?
If
Yeah.
we,
seems
if we
like a
found another
perfectly
hut,
reasonable option.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, this is a solid guaranteed way in. I'd rather spend the 4 days
I mean-
figuring out this lightsaber than begging other
If-
huts for a chance.
If we have no, if this goes poorly in the first day or two, we can investigate other huts. But we have been granted what we need on a silver platter, essentially. It would be foolish not to take advantage, in my opinion.
Exactly.
All right. I will put in a request with control for all the intel we have on. What's his name? Semra the Hut.
Semra.
Semra the Hut.
Yeah. Central gives an affirmative confirmation that he will start digging. He will look for whatever he can.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna go run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back.
What was
After a
the,
merry little jig.
yeah, what was the name of the person we spoke to when we got to the planet?
Oh, the ISB agent,
Yeah,
Agent Shira.
Shira. It'd be a good idea to report in with them as to what we.
Like this, if you want to spell him.
Shira. Okay. Would it be worth talking to them? Do you think?
Yes.
Certainly couldn't hurt.
All right. We'll give them a call.
You could just go there in person.
I was thinking that. Yeah, we'll go in person.
I think I don't even know if you have her console.
I was wondering if we had a number. Yeah, we can head over there.
Make your way back to the promenade.
Yes.
Very good.
Ho ho ho.
That's Santa.
Merry Christmas.
I'm just waiting for first if you have a chance to get back.
No worries.
Click,
And then I will fire all my orbital cannons.
click. Oh, no man.
Oh.
Click,
What are you
click.
on about?
Communicating with your AC.
Sorry, you just have to deal with it.
That's all right.
I'm not bothered by it. It's like nice background noise, I'm gonna lie.
I just pretend that you have a pet parakeet.
Oh god, I could never have a pet bird.
God, oh God, imagine I would have so many arguments with it.
Just get a pigeon. They're very quiet.
I don't want a pet bird.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't want pigeon shit all over my room.
You don't have to.
Potty train them. They're quite smart, funnily enough.
Yeah, like.
Or pigeons sit or don't poop. Or like no, I don't have the patience to potty
Why
train
are you talking to your? Why is Obama training your pigeon?
Hi, hello, I'm back.
Oh, hello.
Welcome back. We're having the stupidest conversation.
Well, don't have stupid animals.
You can put pigeons in
killing
diapers.
you.
Like you can put pigeons in pants.
I'm not gonna do that.
Why not?
All right, you return to the promenade and make your way to speak with Agent Shira at the Imperial Command. You have to show your identification again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Each one of you before you're let in. Then you make way up to Agent Shira's office. You make her in.
yeah.
She kind of like you see as she comes in. You step into the room. Has a holocaust, but she's like, "I will call you back," and she ends it as you step in. Like someone made quite a bit of noise at Jogra's palace. I hear.
Sounds bad, but we did what we had to at least delay the deal going through. Which we did.
So I won't deny you that a 4-day pause gives us time to operate.
We also have
Still-
a lead on a potential sponsorship from one of us to sit in officially at the next meeting.
Like, well, that saves me time.
Sounds like
It's
you're
not
booked
a.
up.
She's like, it's not a good idea for any of you right now to have Jogra the Hutt on your bad side.
Right.
If you're able to, you should look into trying to mend that relationship. Jogra is an important deciding factor. Quite frankly, whichever way Jogra votes in this debate, when in these negotiations, most of the other Hutts will probably follow.
That does seem reasonable.
As I mentioned, he is something of the top dog here on Nar Shaddaa.
I understand. Sounds like much of our energy should into him then.
Well, it won't matter if you don't have a sponsor.
Yes.
Because I also see that you met with I've also heard that you met with our insurgent here.
With displeasure.
He's quite a tour de force, isn't he?
Yes.
Certainly one way of looking at it.
Says you'd be wise not to underestimate Castia. He is much smarter than he might make himself to look.
Yes, he's certainly very well informed, it seems.
Says of course he's an agent of the Great Fox.
Yeah. He's problematic.
He will continue to be a thorn. No doubt he will try to stop you from getting a sponsor and from mending bonds with Jogra.
Right.
Says of course any other Hutts you could appeal to would be a benefit, though don't bother trying Semra or his block of voters.
Noted.
There are some Hutts aligned with Semra's interest who, quite frankly, will not be possible to sway in the amount of time you have.
Are we able to check on who these huts might be that have aligning interests?
I can certainly. I can put together a document and forward it to you.
That would be of great help.
That'd be great, thank you.
Like these Hutt proceedings work on a majority vote, so that's what matters the most. There are some votes that are just going to be unswayed. Semra leads the anti-imperial front of the Hutt cartel here on Nar Shaddaa. They are not likely to bend to your whims.
Yes, we noticed.
But however, It's my opinion that Semra the Hutt is small fry compared to Lanzo Castia. He's the real force of the anti-imperial sentiment here on the planet, especially among the Hutts.
Hmm.
But as long as he's under the protection of Semra, he is virtually untouchable by you.
Yes, it seems that way.
Because even if you get in Jogger's good graces, if Lanzo were to meet an unfortunate end, no doubt it would be known that it's you, and it would weaken the Empire's position on Narshada significantly.
Of course.
Which is all to say, don't kill that mustached menace.
Right. That would have been made things simpler, but we won't touch him.
Says, well, you're special forces. You love a challenge, don't you?
We can handle.
That's our job.
And we'll see how well you handle this challenge.
Quite.
Well, my office and my resources are at your disposal to whatever capacity I'm able to without disrupting my liaisoning duties with the cartel, per the instructions of Grand Moff Crane. But I'm sure you'll manage without. I mean, you have an ISB agent with you. Surely someone just as resourceful as me.
Yes.
We have plenty of opportunity. And
Oh, I'm sure
we're-
you do.
Please forward us those documents as soon as you have a moment, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay. We will,
And you feel thrown out of that office.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Oh, I'm stretching. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think we should end session there.
Okay.
All right.
Understandable.
Thank you all for watching.